Okay, do we start making some rolls or what?
Yeah, which one do you want to try and kill? Warrior or the pyromancer?
Okay, do I stealth or?
We'll assume we're stealth from, because we rolled going into the cave, and I'm pretty sure we all passed, if I remember correctly.
Okay, then I'll try to go for this one.
Okay.
I'll brimstone dagger him.
Okay. So we both just roll to see, and normally I roll Abdul in front of you, but I'm just gonna roll him on the side here. Real quick. Natural 19, so he definitely hits.
That's
17 hits as well. So, go ahead and roll damage real quick. Okay, he dies. And... Yep, so does the warrior. You know what? Actually, I changed my mind. This is dumb. We did the whole sneak thing. We did the kill them one by one. We had this encounter. This is stupid. Yep. Jimson's got the right idea. We're just starting over at the boss encounter. So, kind of as it, you see the back of this large lupine-like creature. Stands about 8.5 feet tall. So he kind of turns, drool dripping from his maw, as you look into the face of a werewolf.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, let's roll it.
Oh,
nice.
Oops, I got to turn on to turn.
Goddamn.
And werewolf. Okay.
I don't think I'm ever gonna use this feat. Oh.
What is his initiative and his perception? Which is okay. Oh yeah, no, he's last.
Waking up from a nap. Someone's got the sleepies.
All right, Gil, let's open it up.
all right. Let's do this better this time. Let's not
And
lightning bolt the
again.
party. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to move first.
Fireball.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And I will use my Wand of Lightning Bolts to open up.
Okay. Reflex from him. Ooh, he might pass. Hold on. It was really high. And you got something home. It's in the witch spells. It's in a cult.
Perfect.
The occult tradition.
Wait, what?
Anyways, his... Reflex, there it is. 26?
Yeah, my DC is 22, so that passes.
Okay, so half damage.
All right. Advanced roller. What are we looking at? D12 times 4. That is, 15 lightning damage.
Okay.
And that uses... How many actions does that use?
2.
2.
Almost
Okay.
all spells in the game are 2.
All right. And then, what do I have that's one action? I guess I raise my shield.
So, you can raise your shield. I also have a homebrew rule that you won't find in archives where if your previous action was to cast a spell that cost at minimum 2 action points, you can cast a cantrip with 3rd.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll raise my shield this time, but that's good to know in the future. Thank you. And that's my turn.
Okay. Abdul's going to open up flanking for a decade. He almost... No, he's not. He's going to try again. Okay, he hit that up. Nope, I didn't gather energy, so this would just be Well, he does have 6 strength. Okay, so 7 damage on that one. And -5, 10. This modifier is. Oh, 11, not bad. 21. Which does hit the werewolf. Nice. 12 damage to the werewolf. And we move to a decade.
Okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to try to. I want to try to get panache, so probably really. Werewolves probably have a lot of reflex. But I'm gonna try to tumble through, so then I'll try to enter his space to throw him off and then go back to him.
Okay. Reflex check from him. That is. Go ahead and. Don't you roll deception for that?
No, for tumble through.
Oh, tumble through. Yeah, sorry. You beat him.
Nice. So he has. Right here. I'll have to look back.
Yeah, it's only been almost a month.
I know, right? Now I gotta fucking remember everything. First off, I have panache. I'm just gonna use the random symbol, whatever. Then I'll attack it with my brimstone dagger. 24.
24 with it.
Uh, 9 piercing, 8 fire.
Okay, damage blood.
I'll attack once more.
-5.
Nope.
Mm-mm. Alright, that's it.
And that's it. Yep.
Jim's.
Gypsum is going to slide over here. Let's see. I need to be about right here. And with some giant centipede venom, going to shoot him with the blowgun.
That will miss, unfortunately.
Okay. Load another giant centipede as an action, and then third action, try to shoot him one more time.
Okay. That will hit.
Alrighty. So please give me a 20 fortitude save.
I gotta remember.
I rolled
What'd you say I had to hit?
20 fortitude.
He gets 20 exactly.
Okay, perfect. Then no effect of the poison.
Damage applied.
And that will end Jimson's turn.
Alright. I may have underestimated how strong this thing is.
Once again.
Good thing
Oh,
it has
fine.
its mate that is about to come in.
No, in a different way. He's almost dead already.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, the Manticore, I underestimated it. Ended up being stronger than I thought it was going to be. This guy's almost dead already. Oh, because they're supposed to be played in packs. Yeah, well, now I know. I don't really use werewolves very often. Alright, we're going to put one into it. Okay. Oh, that's not very good. 17?
Miss.
You can put another one into you because you missed. He rolled one higher. And the third one, that might hit 24.
We'll hit.
Alright. And you take a whopping 18. Still decent damage. 18 slashing.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's a good chunk.
And he's gonna sink his third one.
Wait, wasn't that the third attack already? Because he did 17, 18, and then
You're right. Yep, that's it. Gil.
Ugh. Sorry, I was making coffee. I have brain fog.
You make your coffee in your brand new washer dryer.
That'd be awesome if it was also an espresso machine. Let's see.
Somebody really just needs to make like an all-in-one appliance.
There, my clothes are all clean, and my coffee's ready, and I spilled the coffee all over clean clothes. I fucking hate everything.
Sounds like a skill issue to me.
I
Well,
failed my reflex check.
let's I'll throw a... How long does that last? 1 minute? No. No. Let's just do... I guess ignition?
Oh, okay.
Is that... No. No. Electric arc? Oh, it's the same. Who gives a fuck? Yeah,
Yeah, they're
ignition.
both. One's fire, one's lightning.
Yep. The fire will get... If I get in melee range, it's more, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, it
so,
also becomes an attack
Yeah.
instead of a reflex, I do believe, correct?
No, actually, it is a spell attack roll against the target's AC.
Oh, it is both
Yep.
spell attacks.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Okay, double what you roll on dice.
So, it's, level 2?
It is heightened. You guys are we're level 5, so it is
So,
heightened.
it's
I think we're level
3d4.
5, right?
I think
I
we're
thought we
level
were
4.
4.
Oh, then it is not heightened yet. It heightens at 5.
I thought it was half your level rounded down. Or up, or something.
Hold on. My in-person group hasn't ran in a minute either.
Always automatically heightened to half of your level rounded up.
Correct. You are correct. Yes.
So it's
So then it is heightened 1, so it'd be an additional die.
Alright, so it's a base then 3d4, I guess.
Yep. And then you'll
Alright.
double what you roll on the dice.
3d4. Roll.
Oh, and on a critical hit, it increases by another d4.
Oh,
The persistent fire, so roll a separate d4 for
Oh, okay.
persistent.
and then 1d4. So 16 fire and then 3 persistent.
Okay, he dies.
Oh shit. Whoosh.
Like I said, I might have overestimated his strength. You did it!
Ah, well, I'm glad that fiend was able to be taken care of, though I wonder what it was doing in such a far-off area like this by itself. We should be careful on our way back.
As a side note, be a quick fortitude save from Hideki.
$22.
22. Okay.
That's you.
Ah. May the gods bless you. Is that what the humans say? The gods bless you, or
How should I know?
don't know. Usually, I can just pass you a leaf or a part of my face, and I'll take off a little bit of my peeling face and offer it to you.
I take it and then I just drop it on the ground.
Do we know that you're not human?
You don't know.
Okay.
No, he has not revealed it yet.
Okay, but he did just say, "How would I know?"
Well, then, yeah, you can play your intuition that as much as you want.
Would it be alright with all of you if I take a moment to search this cave for ingredients. I have not been able to seek out such a dark place for a while and can find quite some interesting living specimens in here. It might also be good if we took time to see if we could find any effects of who this werewolf was and why he was up here.
I'm actually pretty good at foraging, so if you want help, I could help.
I would love some assistance.
Can
Uh,
I skin and take some teeth off from the werewolf?
So, after having our conversation, you hear a kind of faint, popping, bubbling noise. As you look down at your prize, it is slowly melting into some sort of black ichor.
Oh, gross.
Interesting. Goodness gracious. Echo. Sorry.
Oh.
Aw. Jimson will quickly take off.
I
his
am
bag.
legit sad about Echo's death.
Oh, yeah.
Similar.
Me too.
Anyways,
Uh,
Jimson's gonna try and take some, right?
Yeah, Jimson will take up.
You can certainly fucking try.
Vial and grab a dart and start trying to like see if he could scoop it up, and if that isn't working, try to like take a sample and move it around. Will that?
Okay, so how do you interact with this steaming pile of black ichor?
So if I see where it's melting, I'd like to go to a larger side of the beast and put the vial to the side of it, so the liquid will start going into it without going on top of it, if I can.
Okay, give me a general crafting check to see if you can properly lay the vial in the way.
Okay.
31. Yep, expertly. You watch as exactly where you said it, the ichor begins to pour into the vial and then disintegrate the glass.
Oh, goodness, this is
You-
interesting.
Do lose a vial.
Okay. How would we be able to save this? Does anyone have a spare dagger, maybe? I want to see how it reacts to metal.
Dill reaches into his robe and kind of flicks one around and hands you two.
Grabbing it, Jimson is going to stab into the side of the beast and lift up slightly to try to just get some on the edge of the blade to see if it tries to fall off, if it stays center, or if it starts melting through metal.
So as you stab into the creature and pull it up, with what little bit of flesh and mass you can find, because this is a very fast-consuming liquid. As you pull the dagger back up, metal is fine. It just kind of off of the dagger back onto the body.
Interesting.
Very slow drip. It's almost like watching like molasses or syrup.
Then last thing I will try before this is completely gone with the last little effort is I'm going to take my bag of sand, dump it out, and try to see if I'm able to put any on the cloth of it, or if it starts disintegrating the cloth.
Okay. Kind of like dip the bag into it. And it seems to.
Sorry, just to be safe, I would take the knife and then try to put the goo of it into the bag from there, so I have less of a chance of touching myself with the.
Okay. So as you stab it and kind of shiv it around in the creature and try and pull more out, put it in the bag, it just burns holes straight through it. You lose your bag of sand.
That's fine. Echo. Jimson, this is going to be a problem. Jimson is more interested in the effects than the bag of sand. Huh. we would need a stronger type container, either something made of stone or metal that would be able to hold this. And that is, if this doesn't completely melt away all in itself. I wonder what type of remains are going to be left there. What type of effect is cave floor? All of us should probably take at least 3 steps back as it's spreading and almost touching your feet.
So as you watch the outer rim of the Ichor, like the very edge of it, because it is, you are called it correctly. I was about to start being like, hey, it's burning your feet. Um, the very outer rim of the Ichor is beginning to quiet down. It's not bubbling, it's not steaming, there's no hissing. The center mass, where the creatures, what very little remains of the creature's corpse at this point, is still bubbling and steaming, but as it seems to expand, it seems to kind of almost like cool down.
Weird question. Can I make a perception check to see if I can smell anything familiar or any type of chemical reaction that may
Oh, it smells like fucking dick, but no, nothing you
have smelled
can call
before?
to mind. I'll save you the roll.
Sounds good, thank you.
There's zero chance Jimson has encountered this before.
Yeah. I've encountered plenty of forms of rotten decay. Something of this nature is almost beyond my understanding. Last skill check. Would I be able to do an occultism check to have an idea of why a werewolf may melt like this?
Sure. They don't.
Okay. Though I've only read small amounts of the creatures of the night, this shouldn't happen. I have no scientific or magical or any type of clue of why is this happening. Does
With a 25, not to waste the roll, what you would know is that typically, unless they are a natural born werewolf, they revert to their human form upon their death. This didn't happen with this creature. It turned into this gross puddle of goo in its wolf form.
would I know what would happen with a natural born werewolf if it just stays dead?
A natural born werewolf, so that would be the child of two. But like, so in my setting, this also applies to vampires. There are purebloods that were lycanthropy was sort of a gift from the gods in a way. So there are like people that are born as werewolves, it is in their blood, and then there are those that are infected. So two that are infected with lycanthropy cannot create a true blood werewolf, even though both parents are technically werewolves. They have to come from two natural born werewolves. So there's like small sectors of werewolves all throughout Avatel that are almost in a very literal sense blessed by gods to become werewolves. Benefits being they can change at will, they're not affected by the lunar cycle, and they typically are, not always, but typically very like good aligned. So they kind of like go out and fight the creatures of the night using their abilities. But what makes them again unique from infected is they are not affected by the lunar cycles. They can change at will, and they retain like their mental focus when they change. Like they don't go berserk. They never have a frenzy. Not even like even their first change. They don't go their first shift. They don't go nuts. So. It's impossible to tell because he's a Balagu what he was. Because the decomposition happens pretty much immediately, but we were having a conversation, not necessarily looking at the body.
Yeah. There has to be some type of stimuli to cause such a strange reaction, and none of us seem to be falling into any effect. Though I do suggest we try to avoid inhaling or letting the surface of this touch us in any way. Um, Unfortunately, I am stumped on this one, boys. Do any of you have an idea or any chance that you have seen something like this before?
I have not.
This is the verse for me.
Would
Could you
Gil have?
Typically, when you
Go,
go ahead.
go.
I was gonna ask, is there a role Gil would make? He's like a bookworm. Would he have read anything about this? Is there a role I can make to determine that?
You can attempt a history check,
Okay. And that is
which
what
would
in
be. Hold on. Let me hold on. Hold on. Let me see if there's a better stat that might play. Just give me a general lore check.
what? Where do I click that?
Oh, you don't have lore. Uh,
Oh, I see the lore area.
yeah. Lore would be your choice of wisdom and intelligence. And you're not trained in it, so it'd just be 20 plus your choice of wisdom or intelligence.
Okay, so a wisdom or an int check.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. I skimmed that book really quick.
Yeah. Nothing.
I don't recall.
This seems quite. Well, if I would put evil into a word, this comes close to it. Do you think one of the betrayer gods has some type of phenomenon like this? Something that destroys a body on death or reclaims it, maybe?
Uh,
Oh, shit. Hold on. Abdul got really high in his religion check. There's not an ability that I am aware of. Even Lamashtu, who loves creating absolutely horrid creatures and mutations, does not do this.
Hmm, that is what I feared. Though we've only recently encountered creations of Lamashtu, at least for this one's incarnation. That's the only thing that I could hope for.
does that mean that either the followers of the betrayers are getting smarter about this, or is it something else entirely?
I am not sure. It is not in any of their worships that I am aware of. I mean, I am not clearly being a follower of Irori. I am not that versed in the worships of the betrayers, but none that I am aware of. And I work very closely with people that make sure that not only their worships, but any word of them stays as contained as possible.
I feel it will be very important that we give great detail of what happened here. Um, and though beyond all else this interests me of no other, we did come here to vanquish a beast and should probably retrieve something to show otherwise. We were told that it had been taking villagers in some regard. We probably should see if we could find some type of remain or memorabilia to.
Those are probably the dismembered bodies hanging outside the front of the cave.
Yes, that is true. I
I
was
think if
just.
we were to tell them that it's safe now, I think they would go and check it out. There's not really much to take back.
I agree, and I think that this is something that we should keep quiet, because even we don't actually know what happened here.
You. It might be something to at least look out for, see if we can hear any rumors about.
Well, that is true. I am saying I don't think that we should go back to Sandpoint and start spreading the word of what we found. We don't know what it is, and who it may be connected to.
Is the Ichor still there?
It is, at this point, stopped bubbling, steaming. It's just a puddle. It's actually starting to harden, almost like tar.
Gil, are you able to light it on fire
Well,
so that whatever else wandered in here doesn't ingest it or step on it or something?
If we
go ahead.
if we do that, I would say we'd want to leave this room immediately. the vapors that it may produce, I have seen reactions before, so that is, if we are trying to destroy any evidence of this foulness, that is a good idea. I just also fear for our safety knowing what type of reactions things have. Sorry.
That's a good idea.
I mean, you know better than me.
I can throw like an ignition fireball at it.
That could work.
All right, well, stand back. Let's see what happens.
Boop.
All right, I chuck a ignition fireball at the Icker.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say you don't have to roll for it because it's a pile of goo in the middle of the floor and it's not moving. I'm sure Gil can hit it. And narratively, if you want to explain it this way, it's fine. I don't care if you explain it as a fireball, but you snap your fingers and something ignites.
Oh yeah, it's not a fireball, guys.
But if you want to make it a fireball narratively, I don't really give a shit.
No, I have
Just, I thought the
blazing
idea
bolt.
of pointing at something and snapping your fingers is like pretty hard.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I'm thinking of Bioshock when you get the fire one and like your hands like looking all flamey and you just snap.
Yeah. It catches fire and begins to burn. The smell intensifies, but as you guys are leaving, there's no additional effects. It's just the smell worsens.
Does it seem to evaporate away?
Well, I thought we were gonna light it and leave.
Oh, okay.
Are we lighting it and standing there to see if it burns? What are we doing?
I'm gonna do what he said. I don't fucking leave.
Yeah, I believe even if with things intensifying, it'd be best if we evacuated the premises. Plus, we need to put others at ease before we can follow this lead.
Okay.
Jimson's a bit sad having to leave this interesting discovery.
So, we exit back out into the town of
I feel like I want to say it's honey something.
Honey. Yeah, it was Honey something. Honey. We'll just go with Honey Willow. Fuck it. We'll never visit this village again.
You never know.
So, as we exit out the cave, there are several what you could consider guards. They're just farmers with basic weapons. Some of them might be in like padded cloth armor. Kind of weapons at the ready as we all exit the cave.
We took care of it.
Julie.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, we it was some sort of werewolf. We were kind of afraid that if somebody got near it, they might get infected, so we burned the corpse.
Oh, well, that would explain the loss of cattle and our beloved ones.
And truly sorry for the losses that you have acquired over this time, but I hope that this will bring some form of peace to you and to the ones that you have lost in your own ways. Nature is very cruel, but it keeps growing no matter what.
Right about the end of your valiant speech, a young boy, 14, 15, comes running up to who you recognized to be the mayor, whose name I didn't write down because I never expected to have to visit this village again, let alone 3 weeks later. And kind of whispers something in his ear, and he nods, and the boy takes off. Oh, this could not have been at a more fortunate time. It seems that the king's caravan is on its way.
Like, the king? What's he doing?
Yes, the
Like this?
King of Lordaeron. He likes to, a couple times a year, pick a random region of Lordaeron to explore, see his people, check on them. And apparently in just a few hours we'll be here. Should be coming with his family, his advisor. It'll be interesting.
Here. Someone that powerful out here, that is...
Oh, I'm sure he's ultimately on his way to Sandport. But same point. Port. Port.
True.
Is it just him and his convoy? I mean, we were kind of planning on going back to Sandport, so would he mind company?
I'm not entirely sure. He travels with a rather large entourage, because he's the king. So
That's
he
fair.
travels with a group of 40, maybe 50 soldiers. His wife, 2 children, his close advisor.
That is fair, and you bring up a good point, Hideki. It would probably be best to learn whether we wait for him, if we wait for him, and see if we are allowed to travel among them, or if they would prefer to have the roads alone. Traveling by ourselves, we may be mistaken for bandits, though with such a large number, I'm sure they would be investigating first, but better to make ourselves known now, rather than have any misunderstandings later. Would it be alright if we stayed another night or two in your inn?
Sure. They would probably be coming through early in the morning.
Oh, excellent.
Well, yes, you're more than welcome to stay. Um, you're going to scout the cave, make sure everything is alright, and then probably cave it in.
Wonderful idea. Inside you will also find some bodies of goblins. We did not burn them due to the fact that, I am sorry to say for them, they were not as much of a as what we believed the beast inside to be. So, tread
That
carefully.
is fine. We will take care of their corpses.
Jimson kind of looks around and starts walking off.
To the inn to wait for the morning. Is there anything else we want to handle?
Um,
Is there like
On-
literally anything to do with this town? Just fucking random ass town.
It's, I mean, nothing that would interest adventurers unless you want to, like, help farmers or something.
when we get back to the inn, Jimson will spend an hour just basking in the sun, and then spend 3 hours looking for crafting ingredients. Specifically, he'll be looking for centipedes and mushrooms.
Okay, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Yeah.
Or,
Nature.
yeah, sorry, nature, not survival.
All right. So with that roll,
Would it be the same rolls at the same modifier?
it would be plus. It would be +3 with nature. So
Okay, so go ahead and reroll it then, because the modifier is different. Cool.
Worse. Oh god.
I did agree to help.
What?
well, that was when we were in the cave. Would you be helping again back here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're caving the cave in.
Yeah,
So
no.
Yeah,
he's
this
just
is-
like wandering around the forest.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay. 11. You find shit, bud.
Though using this excrement could be useful in some ways, I don't believe I could use it for now. So I will leave you as you lie as a fertilizer.
Chimson's just in the corner of the town talking to poop.
You said I found shit.
Fair.
I have this masterwork flute. Can I play it?
Absolutely.
Performance check?
Yep.
Yeah, let's go.
You are politely asked to stop.
I just kind of grumbled to myself, like, that was pretty good.
Alright, Gil, what stack check do you want to fail?
I mean, Tekken doesn't have much.
I think I'm good.
Okay. So,
I did want to. I've been looking at the cantrips. Can I take shield and what was the other one? Forbidding ward, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
take whatever you want.
All right, those are my choices. And my spell, excuse me, is haste. I did add
Perfect.
that to my list, so that was
Okay.
on there from last time. All right, sorry. Continue. My bad.
You're good. So just resting for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just take some time, swing my sword for practice, and yeah, just go to bed.
Say again.
Just like kind of just like exercise, like swinging my sword, and then just go to bed.
Okay. You'll all go to bed. Have a good night's sleep. Wake up. If we went to bed at an appropriate time, we'd wake up at like 7.
Well, they said early morning, so. As we wake up, do we hear anything like outside?
You do see lots of people like preparing. There's people like getting baths and shit. Preparing to meet the king. But it seems that he has not arrived quite yet.
Um, excuse me, bartender. Would you be able to provide some clean water? I'd like to fill up a few vials of it, and would be happy to pay a few coins for you to do so.
But it's just water. It's fine.
Oh.
It gives you like a small pail of water.
Sweet. I will fill 5 vials of clean water, and then for our journey back, I'm going to set some silver leaf in it to slowly break down, and hopefully, if things work out over a day, they'll turn into some antidote.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me a crafting roll real quick, just to see.
Okay, yeah. I'll put the two silver leaf in each of them.
Okay. So tomorrow, in game, obviously, we'll check and see how they came out.
Sounds good. Do you happen, as I'm putting away all of my weird working and machinations, do you happen to know much about this King of Lordaeron? Do you know what he's like at all?
King Greymane is. Well, he's the king. He comes through, looks at us, speaks with us, gives us uplifting speech, and is on his way. The kingdom is prosperous in the face of the calamity, so must be doing something right.
Fair enough. And he makes yearly trips to different parts of his country. Is that what I understand correctly?
Twice a year, he travels to a different corner of his kingdom, visiting as many, not all, but as many cities and villages as possible. Takes him about a month.
Do you know if it's for collecting information for taxes or for understanding his people? Is this during a time of census?
It is not. He just really kind of seems to come through and I guess see how we are doing. And you notice that he's a little bit older, probably mid-50s, early 60s. Being so close to the calamity, he has found it in his good nature to not necessarily tax us or anything. I think he just genuinely cares about how we are doing.
That is fair. And maybe he chose this area due to the new temple dedication over in Sandport. That would make sense, seeing such holy sites are important to many people, especially those affected by the calamity.
Very true. I do not know. We just know that he comes through and we try to do our best to put on our best show.
I see. Tell me, what do you know of centipedes? And Jimson is just going to try to strike up a conversation with the bartender.
Eyes gloss over and he just yob, yob, yob.
Mm-hmm.
Have a drink.
Pours you one.
Don't worry, bartender. I do the same thing.
See, and then each of their individual legs are able to move separately due to the joint. Oh. Well, good morning, Gil. How are you today?
I'm feeling pretty good.
That's good.
I got I don't know, these weird new spells. Here, watch this. And he'll reach over and he'll tap on Jimson and giving a forbidden ward. I'll target him as the ally, and can I target myself as the enemy?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will do that. And in doing so, Jimson, you get +1 AC and +1 saving throws against anything that I do to you. All right.
Oh,
You feel that?
Yeah, it feels like the tightness of my muscles are adding to a. Well, I can't quite say muscles, but I feel a bit more safe, and thank you. This feels right. That is quite the interesting ability you have there. Able to adapt your arcanic nature into strengthening somebody else while zapping the power for another. It's like an exchange rate almost.
Yep, I can put a magic shield on myself now, too. It's really kind of cool. And I'll cast shield on myself, and you'll see like a quick, like flashy blue bubble just kind of appear around me and then like fade, like a real quick, like a blink of an eye.
Ah, well, I should practice the gift that I was given too at another time, though I don't believe this kind gentleman here would like it if I tried to build a house in his house.
Oh yeah, he probably wouldn't care much for that. But that does sound really cool, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. Would you also like to learn the intricacies of centipedes?
And about that time, small child excitedly runs into the inn/tavern and excitedly exclaims, "They're on the way! They're just down the road!"
Ooh.
And the innkeeper, "Yes, yes, very good, centipedes. Please go away."
Right. And
Just go away.
Jimson's going to.
But he's been chatted at by Jimson for because I have them arriving at 10. So for 2 hours, Jimson has been talking this man's ear off.
Well, that's too bad. If we ever come back, I can start telling you about their digestion process.
Yes, digestive. Yes, please. Out of the tavern. I must lock down.
I
Jimson
would
will
just slide
throw,
him like 3 silver pieces. With like, this is just for the trouble.
and Jimson's going to leave the 3 gold coins that he was going to leave him anyway, and start pitter-pattering out the door.
Wow, just make me look bad, I guess, and then just walk out the doors.
I still have a hard time understanding the cost of things. Was that wrong of me? Did I need to pay more or less?
I think you have to pay to return there, if I were to guess.
Well, maybe
You
next.
did kind of talk to Xeroff about centipedes,
Yes, they're
and then
interesting
the Lesh,
creatures.
and then the Leshy reproductive system, and then narwhals for some reason.
Well, I was comparing the narwhal's process of how it grows its horn and using its calcium deposits to give it strength. Centipedes are able to connect to that.
I'm just gonna put my finger on Jimson and be like, "Shh, the king's coming." Look,
So,
over the horizon.
I was about to say, cresting around the bend, you see walking in pairs, just row after row after row after row of cavalry. You notice that each horse is either all white, all black. There's no other variation. And the armor that they wear in itself is this kind of very dark gunmetal gray with accents of black, and they're carrying a large banner with the symbol of water on it. The first pair is, and it's just row after row of this identical armor, each with a shield and what looks like variations in weapons. Some of them carry warhammers, some carry long swords, some carry short swords, but every single one of them has a shield. And then behind that is a rather large carriage that could. This thing's like twice the size of a minivan. Like this thing's got like 5 rows of seating. Just judging from the outside, it has 3 axles that one has to be in the center to support the weight of how long this just wooden vehicle is, and it is pulled by a team of 8 horses. And then behind that, you see again, additionally, row after row after row after row of again, continue, just soldiers, in matching armor, matching weapons, um, kind of coming around the bend. The little boy kind of runs up and claps his hands. He looks up at Hideki. Aren't the Grey Watchers so cool looking? I want to be one when I grow up.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty nice position. I think you can do it, kid.
Maybe. It would be so cool. Their armor is so cool. It has so many hidden features. I heard that it can make them invisible.
That sounds pretty cool. I kind of want myself.
I know, right?
What would you do if you were invisible?
I would dump water on my sister's head.
I mean, we could just go do that right now.
We could. No. I had to stay. My parents said I had to stay. Jacob, get over here. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just give him a just like a nod, like later.
Would I be able to do either a perception or this might be a diplomacy check of knowing the proper way to greet a king or wait for this? I could probably tell people are standing around, but would I be able to gather what we're expected to do when the king gets here?
While mechanically I could say yes, there's no narrative way to explain it because of Jimson's. Yeah, I know our backstories aren't super insane, but I think the only one that would even have a shot at actually knowing what to do would be a Deke. Just because of where Jimson comes from, where Gil comes from, there's not a way that we could narratively explain how they would have that knowledge.
I mean, my background is, I think, servant, so yeah, I would probably know the closest of like.
Yeah, you would know how to address nobles, maybe not necessarily a king, but nobility, yes. So, what do you do, Deke?
What's the general vibe of the crowd? What's everyone else doing?
They're just kind of almost excited, clapping. And you see as like the first set of Grey Watchers, the banner bearers, kind of walk their way in through the village. Several of them, while you can't see their face, they're in full plate, even like the face mask pulled down. They're nodding. Some of them are handing off goods. Some of them are putting coins into people's hands. It's a very welcoming environment as the Grey Watchers begin their movement into the village. It's still a good like 20 rows before you fucking hit the carriage, but it's very embracing, and they seem to be kind of forming almost like a circle within the village. They like kind of get to the edge of it and split off and kind of begin to create this really large circle. But I mean, nothing yet. If you want to continue to wait for the carriage to look for social cues, you can do that, or you can still attempt something.
Can we see where the mayor is?
He is kind of standing, and you're looking, and like the villagers themselves have kind of also formed in this circle. There's 2 breaks in people so that the Grey Watchers and the carriage can move through, and the Grey Watchers are kind of circling around behind people, and they're not like standing maliciously or anything. Several of them have dismounted. They begin to dismount from their horses, and just kind of stand like almost at attention behind them.
All right. For right now, I think we should stay and watch, and if they do say anything, just get ready to approach when we can. And once there is a lull, it would probably be best to let at least a Grey Watcher know that we will be traveling towards Sandport, and that see if it is all right if we travel with them or if they would prefer we wait. Also see if they have maybe perhaps made contact with the mayor there. I know that with things going on, we want to be careful, as Abdul said, but if they already have some information and are curious, we might be able to share what little we can. Actually, Abdul, that may be something of what you should decide of what we should tell if they do ask us, depending on what happens next.
I'm slightly confused. What are you asking Abdul to do?
So Jimson is Jimson is saying if we do get to talk to the king and if we do get to travel with them, I'm wondering if they have had contact with the mayor about the past few events that has happened. Abdul did let us know that we probably need to stay quiet about what has happened in Sandport, especially with a connection to the betrayer gods.
Okay, I get what you're getting at. Gotcha.
Sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine. Also, Loki needs attention.
Yes,
Uh,
I exist. I know that, Loki. Stop trying to do things, and yeah, he likes to scream.
he kind of leans in pretty close, like he has to like get down on one knee. The people I work with do not report to the king. I think we keep everything that we know under wraps. Say nothing at all.
Do you think the
Listen,
king knows about centipedes?
I think he has all the information on centipedes he could ever want. And more. He could probably buy an army of centipedes if he wanted to.
You think I should ask him to teach me about centipedes?
I really do not think you
Absolutely.
should do that.
Yes.
All right. Well, it looks like the carriage is stopping, so let's see what happens next.
I do not think that we should talk to him at all.
Oh,
The
okay.
carriage stops and doors open, and first two out is a young girl, maybe about 16, very regal, black, white, and gray dress, and kind of steps out, and people clap, and oh, Princess Valera, and she kind of nods her head as she moves to the side. And then a young man, maybe early 20s, steps out shortly after her, waving to the people. You hear people announce his name as Prince Velen. Uh, and then you see a man in his. It's hard to tell because this man is built like a fucking brick shithouse. He is easily 6'4", 6'5", easily 250, maybe 300 pounds, and pure muscle. This dude is fucking massive. Has to like dip really low to get out of the carriage, and the crowd kind of erupts as he does kind of a cordial wave, and people are shouting. You know, we've already announced his name a couple times, King Greymane. And shortly after him is a woman who's you judge by the coloration of their hair. They're about the same age, but because her physicality isn't as impressive, she looks to be maybe mid 60s, and they announce her as Queen Alora.
Wow. They have such different clothing, and the way that they hold themselves is so different than I've seen before. Strange. Way to apply status to yourself using the garments that you wear.
I mean, if you're nobility, you definitely want to show it off. You know, kind of like announce your presence by not actually saying anything, you know?
That is
Yeah.
clever, though. I think the legion of armed militia and the multiple horses would also be a good indication.
I mean, it could also just be a mercenary, but you never know. I mean, but when you look upon a man, do you even see a peasant or a king? Because that's a king. And then I'll look to the guy next to my left and he say, "This guy Now that's a peasant.
And the guy just kind of like takes a small look of offense for a second, and then he just kind of does the, like where you lower your jaw, you're like, yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
The king. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little ahead of myself. Stepping out of the carriage, the final person uh, looks to be an elf, actually. So impossible to tell age. He's definitely of maturity age. He's a full-grown elf, but unfortunately, with elves, until they get really old, you can't really tell how old they are. Dressed in similar attire, it's not as regal. Colors are matching. Um, Nobody really seems to announce his name as he comes out. But given the people that you knew were in the carriage, you would assume that this is probably the king's advisor. And he kind of floats closely to the family, big smile on his face. It's very kind of warm and inviting aura about himself. And it's the same with the nobles as well. They starting to the children, the prince and princess, are starting to mingle with the crowd and talk to people, whereas the king, queen, and shortly in tow the advisor have walked straight up to the mayor, and they are walking into the tavern that you were just told to get the fuck out of, which is why they told you to get the fuck out of it.
Hmm. Um, is this the first elf that we have seen
Yes,
within Lordaeron?
yes.
Huh.
It's also um, Jimson and uh, Gil wouldn't know this, but Adeki would. Elves are quite rare in Lordaeron.
Yeah, we have been told that the beast folk aren't always the most welcome, but we haven't really been told too much about the relationship between elves. So,
General knowledge is that at this point, most of the elves would be in a city called Nordranus, or Nordrasil, which is in Lordaeron. It's kind of over on the southern right tip, like right on the land bridge that leads down to the Eastern Kingdoms, right next to a valley called Barovia. Um, that would be where most of the elves of Lordaeron are. Would be in the city of Nordrasil. Again, kind of near the land bridge to the Eastern Kingdoms, right next to the Valley of Barovia.
with an as they go into the bar, seeing the elf and knowing that there's some difference, but not really knowing it, could I do a perception check to see if anyone is giving a different type of look or type of vibes towards the elf as they are to the rest of the nobility?
Sure, you can try.
Okay. Would that just be perception, or is this something else?
Perception's fine.
Okay. 25?
No. Most of the people have not an aggressive way because the Grey Watchers are right there, but they have begun to kind of flood the prince and princess while you see that the king, queen, and advisor have disappeared into the tavern. But nobody really looks at the advisor in a weird way.
Okay. Cool.
Most people are purely enamored with the nobles.
Hmm. Well, these
And I
people
say
have...
people, there's like 50 people that live in this village.
Mm-hmm. We uh, gave them the chance, and looks like they have some time to themselves. Should we approach one of the soldiers, the Grey Watchers, I believe, and let them know of our intentions to travel to Sandport and see if it's alright if we join them, or if they prefer that we would leave before or after them? Adeki, what do you think?
Decky's just been watching the two prince and princess just mingle with the crowd. And just see like how they kind of treat the people.
With respect.
Are they like shaking people's hands or just like
Mm-hmm.
hmm.
Yep, shaking people's hands, genuinely like listening to people. Um, at this point, several of the Grey Watchers have moved towards the back of the carriage, and they're handing out like luxury food, um, you know, artisan breads and um, what you as a servant would know to be kind of like more noble-esque food. So lots of fruits, lots of high-end vegetables, more than just your standard mutton and bread. And they're kind of the prince and princess are helping kind of disseminate that among the people as well.
Can I, as they kind of like give out bread, can I approach the two prince and princess?
Yeah, sure. Which one? They're kind of like on opposite sides of the circle, so you'd have to pick one or the other.
Let's go towards the princess. Why not?
Okay. Princess, again, you've heard her, and as you're coming closer, you hear her name several times. Princess Valira.
Princess Valeria, the stories about your beauty have not done you any respect. You're even more beautiful than person than any stories can tell.
She kind of giggles and covers her mouth. Well, thank you. What is your name?
I am Hideki Yeto. It's a pleasure to meet you, my lady.
It is a pleasure to meet you. And she kind of does the princess hand extend.
And then I will gladly accept it.
Okay. Wow. You hmm, you have experience with my kind, I guess you could say.
Yes, I used to serve a noble house. The name's not too important, but I left my own accord, and I'm kind of just traveling the land, trying to discover the world through my own eyes.
That is a noble cause. I see you are armed. You're an adventurer.
Quite.
Hmm,
More recently, but I'm trying to develop somewhat of a name for myself.
Well,
Me and my compatriots.
interesting. You should speak with my captain of the guard right over there. And she points at a Grey Watcher. She points at a group of Grey Watchers. They all look the same.
The tall one.
Yes, you see that long white hair poking out the back of his helmet.
Yes.
You should speak with him about your adventuring aspirations.
Thank you, my lady. You do not know how much this means to us.
And in
Also,
a move you weren't expecting, she actually bows to you as you walk away. Not like a super deep, reverent bow, very graceful kind of head nod, slight shoulder dip, but a bow none the same.
I would also give a curtsy bow back to her. And I'll just kind of say to myself, "Oh man, she's pretty good." And then I'll approach the guard that she pointed out,
Okay,
with the long white hair in the back. Excuse me, Princess Valerie, right?
Valyria.
Valeria. Asked me to speak with you about some adventuring prospects, hopefully.
Hmm. Yeah, I kinda saw her point you my way. My name is, hold on, Justicar Belforth.
Pleasure to meet you, Justicar Belforth.
Pleasure to meet you. I assume she probably sent you over here for this. And he kind of reaches into a fold in his armor and he produces like a small seal, like a medallion almost. He hands it to you. And as you're looking at it, it's got the stamp of Lordaeron in the center, and on the outside it says Grey Watchers forever watching. And as he hands it to you, present that at, well, random magistrates that you find throughout our lands, and they may provide you with some hidden options to make your coin, adventurer. And we'll keep a close eye.
I
Maybe we'll
guess.
make her a Grey Watcher.
I guess more premium jobs. I guess the best way to explain it is.
Premium, difficult, but premium.
Hmm. Well, thank you for the opportunity. By the way, I would like to mention one thing. Me and my compatriots were also heading to Sandport. Is it okay if we follow behind the King's Trail? You know, not to get too close, but it's just a coincidence that we were just so happy to be headed the same way.
That is perfectly fine. Just stay behind the caravan and don't get too close. You don't want to spook my rear guards.
Not a problem. We don't want to cause any issues for you and your fellows.
Well, as long as no issues arise, then I have no issue with it.
All right. Maybe we speak again in the future then.
I'm sure we will.
And I'll give a kind of another bow, and I'll just kind of head back into the ground and hopefully grab
Okay.
some food if I haven't grabbed any yet.
So as you
Whoa.
bow, he takes his right hand and slams it into his heart, and then kind of holds it up, like in a fist. So you assume that to be their salute because the two Grey Watchers next to him do it to you as well. Not in like a Hail Hitler kind of way. Like he slams his chest
Like
and then holds
like
it in like an
one
L shape. Like, yeah. Like a half fist pump.
yeah, the like how they do it like in Attack on Titan, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That exact salute. I didn't actually put that together. But yes, that is the Grey Watcher salute. But yes, the Attack on Titan salute.
Yeah.
While Adeki is getting to know the princess and the captain of the guard, Jimson will go to Gil. Gil, I know you're interested in the culture of the land. Maybe if you got an opportunity to spoke to the prince, that could tell you a lot more of what you're looking for. At least get a different side from what we were learning from the, I believe they call us common people.
Oh, I don't know about being common, but I get what you're saying. All right, let's go talk to that guy.
Did you want me to come with you, or did you want to try this by yourself?
I mean, that's fine. I can go alone.
Well, just whatever you felt comfortable with. I honestly have no idea how to approach this. It just came to me that, well, Adeki seemed so confident talking to such a high lady that I thought it would be good if we talked to the prince instead, and I know that you were curious. I'm happy to be, what do they call it, your wingman here to pick him up, is that correct?
I don't know. I've never flown before.
I love it.
Fair. Well, yes, this is our chance to open up our wings and fly?
I fucking hate you. But carry on.
I guess while we're having our banter, we'll slowly approach the prince.
As we approach, Gil is like flapping his arms.
Um,
Okay.
Hello, Your Highness. We are recently to this town and just learned that of your arrivals. And, well, my friend here is trying to learn more about this, and I said that I would be his wingman. So we wanted to talk to you, if that is all right.
It is, yes. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm Gil.
Hi, Gil. My name is Prince Bellin.
I like your clothes.
Thank you. I like yours.
Oh, this is just like seaweed from my hometown, but I appreciate it. Thank you. You don't find it around here very often. It's kind of rare in these parts.
I would assume that no, you would not find it around here.
Yes. Well, we're just recent to this area, and was quite surprised to hear that someone of such high stature as yourself and your family was coming here. We were interested to learn more of your visits and, honestly, how it is that you're doing. Seems this area has been in development. We just came here from Sandport and are planning on returning there. But, news like this is quite shocking. We, would love to learn more if you are willing to say anything, but I understand that you are busy if you only have a moment.
No, I have a moment to spare. My father's visits are recent in the last few years, but after the calamity, we just want to make sure that the kingdom is thriving and recovering well.
Of what I've seen of the nature within your lands, it is quite healthy and lustrous, so I'm glad for the development and the care that has been going into sides that I have seen. The people here seem to be very happy. As you will see, Sandport is developing quite nicely.
We are excited to see it. It's been a couple of years since we've been able to visit this corner, and yes, our lands are recovering well. It seems that Goes Ray has smiled upon us.
That they do. I really like the people that I've met so far. They're all your people, so you must be doing a good job. So thank you for your service.
I assure you, it has nothing to do with me. My days are filled with studies and learning how to take the throne.
Does that make you nervous?
In ways, yes, it's quite a responsibility, especially after our, well, I wasn't around for it, but my father said this. The times of the calamity were impossible in some ways to survive, and our advisor, who has lived even longer, has told us that they were very, very dark times.
Oh. Was that the elf individual that we saw get out of your carriage?
It is.
That's the first time I ever saw an elf, and I really thought he looked cool.
Where are you from?
I don't know. Do you know? It's called Merca? Are you familiar with it? It's an underwater civilization.
No, I don't think I am.
Well, it's a whole bunch of people like me. We're Athamaru fish people, and there's a lot of us, but we're very peaceful, and it's not very diverse down there, so I don't know. I'm really enjoying my time on the surface, seeing all the different, like, species and races and wildlife and weather, and there's just a lot more up here than there is down there, and I am fascinated.
That is wonderful, and I am happy that you are enjoying your time amongst our people and on our lands. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have many people to speak with.
Of course, thank you again for giving us your time and serving this beautiful country that you have. If some other time comes up, I hope that we can speak again. And
I hope so as well.
I'll give a little dainty bow, and I think you can stop flapping your arms now, Gil. Let's head back to Abdul and wait for Adeki. It seems like he's just about finished.
Gil stands up from his little bow and stops flapping his arms and is like, I flew for my first time, and then turns and walks with Jimson back.
Okay.
That fish is going to save the world one day.
That, or he's going to become the next Lich King.
But anyway, when I was up here, I talked to this guy called the Lich King. Sounds kind of, one of those guys.
Lich sounds like fish, so it made sense that we should become friends.
Anyway, I'm his slave.
Unless Hideki has more, I guess it would be best to wait for things to die down and either prepare for another day in town if they're staying here, or begin traveling behind them as if everything worked out with Hideki.
Yeah, it looked like he was
And,
speaking with that guard, so when he's all finished there, we'll get the scoop and figure out the plan.
And then I'll wander back to the group.
Okay.
Yeah, how'd it go for you two?
I was a wingman to Gil, and talking to the prince was very interesting. He seems very kind, though He did seem a little off when talking about one day not usurping, just taking the throne. Or
I
is that
mean,
the correct word?
well, maybe attaining the throne may be more appropriate. Usurping usually means kind of, overthrowing or forcibly removed.
Oh, dear. Well, he
Yes.
was talking about his studies for one day when he takes the throne, though to me it seemed like he got kind of quiet and distant when saying that. I hope everything is okay with him.
Well, no one can know the weight of being a noble like they do.
They don't look that much heavier than Abdul. Do...
I'm quite heavy.
Oh,
I mean, yeah,
so...
have you seen the king too? He's like 6 foot.
Oh, the king could easily kick the shit out of me. That man is... Lord, I've never seen King Greymane, but he is big.
Yeah, that guy could probably lift logs just for fun.
I bet I could beat up his wife.
You probably.
Never...
I know you're from America, but that's not how we do it here.
I know...
I could beat up your dad's son.
Right!
Equal rights, equal fights.
I've heard the stories of his combat exploits, so it's not that surprising that he is that big.
Oh. He does have quite the air about him. Um, is there anything that we should do or ask, or should we let the town have its fun and prepare ourselves for our journey back? I know... I know that we have accomplished our mission here and need to return to let them know back home. But is there anything that any of you want to do here before this leaves, or any other questions that we should have? I don't know much about all the political goings on, but I would say this is the best time to start growing our information while we can.
Can I look back at the Alpha Advisor, see what he's doing?
He went in the
Oh.
tavern.
Oh, you went to the tavern? Okay, yeah. Yeah, what's everyone else in town doing? Are they just kind of like partying, drinking, having the day off essentially?
Yeah, basically, it's just
President's
people
Day.
kind of... Yeah, it's sort of like a... Kind of like a mini holiday. After some time, the prince and princess would also join in the tavern. Join their parents there. And continued celebration. And as long as there's nothing else we want to do, we're going to skip ahead a little bit.
Sounds good.
Just do as they do in Honey Willow, I guess.
Okay. So as you guys are kind of drinking, having a good time, you see the prince and princess exit shortly after. Their parents as well, the king and queen, are kind of being escorted to the carriage, and then shortly after, the advisor comes out with the mayor, who is writing some things in what seems to be some sort of logbook or notebook as they're kind of having a quiet conversation. King Greymane kind of steps on the carriage and holds his hands out. Beautiful people of Honeywillow. It was great to grace ourselves with your faces this day. I'm impressed with this village and what it has been able to accomplish with the resources it has. And we continue to look forward to your continued support with our continued protection and aid. Drink, be merry, we shall see you soon. And he gets in the carriage, shortly followed by his wife and children. And the advisor's still standing outside the carriage, kind of talking to the mayor. They're kind of trying to hurry up the conversation. King Greymane sticks his head up.
How far away are we from them?
Pretty far.
Can I get a little closer to see if I could read his lips?
You can certainly try.
Is that stealth or what?
Are you trying to not be seen?
It would be kind of awkward trying to not be seen in a huge crowd, so I kind of want to just blend in a bit, and then...
I'd say that's still stealth, because it's kind of the same principle. Blending in versus trying to stay hidden. It's kind of the same-ish skill set.
Okay. Oh no, I'm just the crowd's just fucking throwing me off.
Yep, you can't seem to get close enough. People keep kind of stepping in your way. Um, and as you're trying to get closer, King Greymane sticks his head out, and you do hear, Valanther, we must carry on to Sandport. Yes, sir, of course. And they kind of closes his conversation with the mayor and gets in the carriage. There's a big kind of horn blow, and the caravan takes off. The captain of the guard approaches you all on his horse. I think 50 feet should suffice. We don't want you to get lost or hurt on the road, but we certainly don't want you too close. Is that agreeable?
That's fine with us.
Perfect. We'll see you in Sandport.
Yep.
He takes his place kind of right next to the carriage. Kind of gather that he's like the last line of defense, even though Greymane probably doesn't honestly need defense. His family does.
Well, you ready to go, you bunch of weirdos?
Do you think that we were sticking out too much?
You mean the talking fish, or the cat guy, or the talking plant, and the guy hanging around with them? Probably not.
Ah, good. I'm glad. Yes, let's follow, but make sure that we stay far enough back. Though, it may give a good opportunity to watch how the travel patterns of different types of uh, levels in society. And, well, most importantly, it will be important to watch our steps. Though I've ran into a lot of excrement in this area, I feel like we might find a lot more with how many horses.
Huh, that is actually a pretty good point. What do you think they're feeding them? I mean, it's a lot of horses. Do you think they step in it, or do you think after a while they just stop caring?
Hmm.
I mean, I've heard that plants need fertilizer. You don't need anything, do you?
I photosynthesize. My growing process from earlier in my younger years has finished up, so I no longer need to take the nutrients from the ground and just take the ones from the sky. I can't tell you the growing process when this one's soul took into the new shape if you would like. It will take probably about 3 hours.
You know what? Gather all your thoughts, think about it, and then we'll talk later.
Wonderful. And we begin to fall behind.
Okay. It is about a day and a half back to the city of Sandport, so at some point they would stop for camp. You are once again approached by Captain Belforth. You're welcome to camp with us tonight. It is pointless for you to, unless you choose to camp alone. It's perfectly fine. You will be watched, but you're more than welcome to. Enjoy our food and drink.
Is it quite alright if, I use a bit of magic to give ourselves some shelter for the night? Or would it be better to offer it to the royalty? I have recently learned a spell called Cozy Cabin, that may just give a little bit more amenity than a tent, but I also do not know what type of living conditions you have on the roads.
The nobles will be fine, and while we appreciate the offer, it is. We're just going to say no.
Of course. Is it alright if we use this, or would you prefer it if we did not use magic within the area for the best protection of your jobs?
It's perfectly fine. It is your choice.
Ah, wonderful. And Jimson will find a clear area for a while and starts taking some things and scribing them onto the ground and muttering some incantations as they come to his head, drawing out the area that the cozy cabin will form.
Okay.
Takes 10 minutes, so if you guys want to do anything during that time.
At this point, Belforth would walk back over to camp since you all didn't take him up on his offer.
I would just follow him and see, just hang out with him just for a bit, and see, get the general vibes.
As you approach, there's several tents. It looks like it's 2 Grey Watchers to a tent, and of course there's a single mass tent that you could assume the nobles are staying in. And it's just kind of like almost what you would expect, just very chill. People derobing, taking their armor off, preparing quick meals, laughing, sharing stories. It's very calm, quiet. There is still, you notice it's probably like a half shift. So about half the Grey Watchers are beginning their rest. The other half, you can see periodically walking around pulling a patrol of some kind. And even of the half that is pulling patrol, you still only see half of those. You assume that the rest are scouts that are sent even deeper into the surrounding forest. But yeah, I mean, it's just pretty quiet, chill.
Okay. Where are the nobles? Are they sitting around a campfire?
No, they are. You don't see them, so you could assume they're probably in the tent.
Okay. And then it's just kind of like just random guards around the campfire?
Well, there's several kind of pockets of it because now that you're closer, you can kind of get a head count. Um, Again, assuming that half of them are probably out on some form of patrol, you see about 30 soldiers. So, is 15 tents, 3 or 4 campfires that several of them are sitting around. And Belforth takes you to one. It's a handful of soldiers sitting at it, and there's a large log that they kind of roll over and are sitting on, and he takes a seat and he motions for you to take a seat next to him.
Oh, I'll gladly accept.
Okay. Now, about the time that it would take you to walk over there and do all that, your house would pop up.
Perfect. I'd take some time just to inspect it and see that nice wooden walls, 20 feet wide, 10 feet tall, and just get the general vibe. And yeah, just take some time to inspect it, and I'll come back later for some roleplay stuff.
Okay. So, we'll take a quick bathroom break here because the wife is heading to bed. So, and then we'll come back and do Jackie and Belforth and Gil and Jimson at the house.
Nice.
See you in 5:10. Sound good?
Yup.
Yep, yep.
And two, I didn't want to, on the off chance it would happen, have to make a bunch of like random races for you guys to play as characters. To be 100% honest, because I've already converted so much of the game, I really didn't want to do races too.
That's fine. I was just
And then
curious.
and then we make our own custom races instead.
Yep. So, but no, there are some, like there are leshies that you guys could find depending on where you go. But I mean, the good thing is like a lot of the races in Pathfinder can at least be reflavored to be a race in 5e. Like there isn't a plant race per se, but there is like a race of plant enemies. So like I can still kind of make it make sense with 5e.
Right.
All right, Masquerade, new goal. We need to get a Bard Leshy on our ship.
Are they even capable of speaking? Or not speaking, singing? I don't think I've ever met an individual quite as that who was able to just
Oh, the only
express
time I
emotion.
ever heard a plant sing is, well, it sounded horrible, almost as bad as I sing, so that's why we need one.
So you just want just annoying everybody.
Yeah, keeps morales up when everybody hates somebody.
I think you and I have both different definitions of keeping morale up.
Probably.
That was more like Helkel in there.
Yeah, that was pretty close to Huckling.
Anyway, hi Gil.
Hi.
So anyway,
So anyway, Belforth and Atake. So as you sit down, Belforth kind of greets. This is, I believe, an inspiring adventure that a princess wrangled in like a stray. He kind of gives you a small smile and like a jab in the light jab in the ribs with his elbow. You know how she is about picking up strays, boys? And the soldiers kind of laugh. Atake, I'd like you to meet Sergeant. Clicking notes. Nope, wrong timeline. Fuck! Sergeant Gilroy and Sergeant Nope, not Blackguard. Sergeant Frank. I don't know.
pleasure to meet you, Frank Gilroy. I'm Itaki Yeto, the Stray. And I'll
Hmm.
kind of give everyone like a handshake.
Nice to meet you.
So so the Lord likes to do this every once in a while?
Uh, Twice a year. So 2 months of the year we are on the road.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about it? Seems kind of like, long ways to travel just to visit some towns.
Gilroy pops up. I don't know. They pay me. I go there. It's pretty simple.
Fair enough. Keep things simple. Keep things, I guess, interesting. Paid vacation, I guess. Well, paid travel, I guess.
Frank's name is actually Allen.
All in.
Yeah, it's quite simple. They pay me. They ask me to escort them somewhere. I escort them there. I think it's actually quite great that nobles are so willing to mingle with the common folk. It's not something you'd see in Calendar. Certainly not in the Eastern Kingdoms. Never been in Northrend. Don't like the cold, so probably never go.
I don't mind the cold myself. I find it kind of refreshing. I used to serve some nobles myself, although they were a lot more, strict, so I eventually kind of went it my own way. But, yeah, so far I only met the princess, and the prince also seemed like a pretty swell guy.
He is a kind soul. He is troubled, but kind.
Troubled, how so?
Heavy is the crown, my friend.
Ah, that is true. Uh, I guess only one of such position can know such, I guess, a great weight on their shoulders.
Can only imagine what goes through that boy's mind on a daily basis.
I mean, the king
His
also must
father
have.
will not. Say again?
Oh, I was gonna say. I mean, the king must have felt that way at some point. I mean, oh
No,
god, I would say his grandfather would have like probably did some great things in his time because of the war was like what 3 people ago, like 150 years ago.
yeah, the War of the Ancients was 153 years ago.
Yeah, that was like pretty freaking recently. So yeah, it was probably pretty hard on
But
him too.
uh, I'm sure the king struggled. I remember his younger years trying to pick up the pieces that they left us. The calamity, the war, and then the elemental furies breaking out. It was challenging.
It was challenging for everybody, but from the looks of it, we're on the road for recovery. So hopefully the burden of having a crown is not as heavy as it seems.
I think it comes with age. Our king does well. He has been on the throne for 87 years?
87 years.
Yes, 87. He's been on the throne.
How old was he when he took the crown?
Oh, 24, 20. I think. When did Queen? Well, when did King Gilneas die? Mm, I want to say it was like 6 AW. Although I would put King Greymane mid 30s, early 30s, somewhere in there.
Pardon my ignorance, but he's human, correct? I assumed they didn't live that long.
He's not.
Oh, is he half something else?
He's not half anything. He is all natural born werewolf.
Oh, werewolf. How did that happen?
Don't know. Comes with the bloodline.
Oh, I kind of just look up to see if there's like a full moon. I don't have to worry about anything, do I?
No, no, no. The nobles are more than capable of controlling themselves. But it is kind of the symbol status and how we keep the bloodline of the country. I guess you could say pure, but that sounds sort of dirty to say.
I don't suppose the queen also has to be a werewolf as well, or does it not matter?
Well, no, luckily, with their particular gift, only one parent has to be one. The queen is quite younger than our king.
Yeah, I heard rumors that she's around, well, early 20s if I'm being polite, but around 60?
The early 20s is probably the answer you should give her, but she's 63.
63.
She, as far as we are aware, is human. But obviously, that means both of their children are, well, that is another thing, although that does weigh heavy on both their heads, is they will live much, much longer than the mother does.
Hmm. I mean, it must be quite worrisome to see, you and your siblings look ever young, but then the queen grow old, and well, I guess that's something we'll have to live with. Not everyone can live forever, as much as we all wish for it.
It is, he kind of stares off in the distance for a second. It is a unique kind of pain.
Do you think all the elves feel that way as well? I saw the advisor walking around. I know they live
Well,
for a
yes,
very long time.
hundreds of years.
Yeah, I mean, he must have seen many souls come and go, so I wonder if it's the
I
same for them.
believe so. He has served the Greymane family for 4 generations, I believe, at this point. 4, maybe 5.
Oh wow, then he was right at the center of the calamities. He probably has many stories of it.
I believe he served the family before the war, even.
Oh, was he there to help establish them? I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar with the royal family's history.
Establish them in what way? Oh,
Uh,
establish the line, the Gilnean line.
yeah,
Greymane
like
line.
help like establish the
No, 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 no. Our civilization has existed for thousands of years, much longer than Valenta has.
forgive my ignorance.
It is alright. I don't expect you to know these things.
I didn't get to do much history studying while serving. It was mostly just you were taught to serve in this particular way, and it was just kind of left at that.
Yeah. Not all noble families can be as noble as our own.
I mean, yeah, you're traveling the countryside from village to village. Seems peaceful almost.
It is. I sometimes question my brother's ideas, but
Oh, you're his brother.
oh yes, I didn't clarify that and probably should have. Yes, I am King Greymane's brother. That is how I know what he is. And he kind of puts like a little finger to his nose, like the knowing thing.
And he's Justicar Belforth, right?
Yes, it's Jessica Belforth. Belforth is his first name, not his last name. I didn't want to announce his last name because I
So
wanted
then
a fun
he's
reveal.
Justicar Belforth Greymane.
Correct.
Okay.
But he prefers to. Reason one, I did it in character because he prefers to distance himself from his brother as much as possible, so that like just as like a general protection thing, so he can't be used to get to the king or anything like that. And plus two, I wanted to have a really fun reveal that he was the brother.
Speaking of which, me and my compatriots went on a job to actually hunt down a werewolf. So I don't know if any of you know about it.
Was this a quest you got at a local magistrate or hunters
We
guild?
Yes, we got it from Justicar of Sandport. Justicar James, I think we call him.
Yes, James. I haven't seen him in several years. It'd be nice to see his face again. Um, no, we would not concern ourselves with a mission that you would get at a magistrate or a hunters guild. That's a little,
Well,
forgive me, but below our purview.
yes, but it's not what he was that concerned me. It's what happened after. What? Can you tell me more about what happens when a werewolf perishes? Because our experience was a little weird, so to
Well, that
say.
would be, are you talking natural bonds, such as myself and my brother? Or are you
Or
talking those that have been unfortunately cursed with it?
I unfortunately cannot tell if this one was natural born or cursed with it, but when he perished, his body turned to goo. It was the strangest thing.
Yeah, that doesn't really happen to either one.
This world's so weird sometimes.
It is very, very strange. And he kind of pulls out like a small, like couple folds of like folded piece of parchment. He unfolds it, and it's like a couple pieces, and you see he's got notes jotted down. Could you explain to me exactly what happened?
Uh, During the fight, nothing particular. Just seems like a regular like man beast. I guess the best way to explain it is. And then afterwards, we struck it down, and as we were about to see if it had anything useful on hand, it just body started to bubbling and turned into some sort of black ichor.
He's kind of like feverishly writing it down. Um, that is concerning. I've never heard of this before.
I unfortunately don't know anything more than that. We did burn it just in case anybody got too close to it. It produced a weird smell, but that's about it. We just kind of left it there. And the villagers said they were going to collapse the tunnel regardless.
Well, that was probably the wisest decision you could have.
But I guess be on the lookout for anything else that's weird like that.
I definitely will. And he looks over at the two sergeants. Yes, of course. We'll share it with our people. Yeah, absolutely. I've got 7 soldiers and scouts out right now. Well, you can keep an eye out for werewolves that turn into black goo.
Hey man, I'm just reporting what I see.
Forgive the manners. And he kind of smiles at them. They are butt soldiers. Manners are
I
not
mean,
necessarily in the purview.
makes it easier to talk. Gets everyone at the same level, you know.
Quite. So, what is next in your adventure, young Deke?
Nothing in particular. We're just gonna head back to Sandport and possibly get another job to go somewhere new.
Interesting. Well, I have enjoyed our chat very much, but I am very old, and unfortunately, I can hear my bed all the way across. So, I will take my leave, but you should come visit us at Gelneus sometime, the capital, and we'll speak again.
Yes, it was a pleasure to talk to you.
And to you. I look forward to any possible interactions we may have in the morrow.
Until then.
Until then,
And then what are
gentlemen.
Sergeants? I was gonna say what Sergeant Gilroy and Olin gonna do.
Yeah, so he gets up, gentlemen, and he walks off to a much larger tent that's next to the noble's tent, and they kind of. Right. Well, the unfortunate Gilroy looks over at Eller and is like, "Well, you get to be the one that runs the. Yes, I get to run the night patrol. I'm so bloody happy about it. Anyways, it was nice to meet you, Deke. I have to go check on my scouts. Stay safe. Stay in your. God, is that a house?
Yeah, I think he just learned how to do that. I don't really understand all this magic stuff, to
Oh,
be honest.
he might want to work on it. Anyways, if you see someone, poking around, don't panic. We just like to keep an eye.
Fair enough.
Right. Well, I take my leave, gentlemen. Yeah. The Lord gets up and walks off. And Gilroy, well, I think I'm going to drink myself into a stupor and have a good night's sleep.
Sounds like an excellent evening.
It's nice to meet you, Adeke.
Nice to meet you too.
Have a good night. And he gets up and just wanders off.
I'll wander back to Jimson's weird house.
Okay. So,
Do I do I
in the
knock?
well, in the time that you're having that conversation, what are you two doing?
After seeing the trees grow from the ground and then collapse onto each other to form the house and some basic furniture and stuff, Gibson is going to be taking detailed notes and everything and looking throughout the area just to kind of understand this new magic imbued with him and try to understand though it is occultist in nature, trying to understand the connection to nature itself with the trees, if they connect to the environment, or if it is its own phenomenon within itself, and kind of just studying the interactions with each other.
Okay.
I'm just watching Jimson with awe because this is really cool. And every time something cool happens, I clap.
It's very. Because of where Jimson came from, it's very homey, but still foreign, still unnatural. Um, you try as best you can with spells to recreate it, but like the wood grains don't quite line up or look supernatural. Um, it's very close, but very clearly made by magic.
Interesting. Yeah, the pattern striations, the ringlets, though almost similar to what an actual tree would. There's the differentiation and the design. Oh, built is sturdy and strong. It will be able to last for the time. Oh, I wish we could spend the full 12 hours to see how it deconstructs itself. Oh, oh, Adeki, welcome back. Did you have an interesting meeting with our traveling compatriots? Or
Yeah,
at least the royalty?
well, the royalty were already asleep, but
Oh,
just a card. Fucking Belforth was quite an interesting man. It's very kind.
ah, oh, I'm
Turns
glad
out
to hear
he's
that.
actually the king's brother.
Oh, goodness, I wonder if that is a regular process. I guess that would be a good way to keep connection to the throne without having to worry of any type of overthrowing it. If there was some way of shunting them out, then it's better to have them close connected and give them positions of power rather than trying to drive them away.
Right. Anyway, they said the guards are going to be scattered around a bit, so if we hear any noises, it's probably them. But regardless, we should still check it out,
But,
if just to be safe.
and you said the king is already asleep. That is too bad. I was going to see if he would like to go out centipede hunting with me later tonight, and maybe teach me some of his methods. Do you think it's still worth asking when I get ready to go?
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Also, I hope you guys are not upset with me, but I did tell them about the werewolves that we encountered earlier.
Oh,
He seemed like the most appropriate person to talk to it about, so they're at least aware of it. I don't know what they're gonna do about it.
strange. Were you able to go into detail of the different interactions with the different surfaces and chemical compounds that may be causing all of this? Its interaction with both glass and fabric was very telling that this. I can't quite place it as an acid or a base, but it's still able to destroy such a strong and usually known surface that can hold many more types of stronger
The deck is gonna like just blank stare.
Oh, uh, okay. Anyway, I don't know if that was good or not. I guess we'll have to see. But,
I know Abdul said not to say anything, but it just felt appropriate.
Hmm.
Since, well, turns out the king's a werewolf, and so is all of his siblings. Or not siblings, children. Well,
Uh,
sibling and children.
oh, goodness. That is interesting. For a land that we were told that has some issues with discrimination to have the ruling power in a different position, I wonder if that means that they hold those who have the appearance of human but are able to change form in different separation from those who have a different appearance to begin with.
You know, interestingly enough, I didn't think about that.
Yes. I mean, with the ability to transform, it would also make sense of his unique build, though the prince being lacking. I wonder if that's due to a different process of, well, puberty? If they go through a second type of phase where they grow and have different changes. And if the
Well,
same
you
thing is going.
did notice Belforth is not as big as his brother either.
Oh,
He's
okay.
big, but he's not nearly as big as King Greenmane is.
Okay. Hmm. Strange. Each one has their own separate build, even though they come from the same lineage. Ah, I wonder if it's just how their blood interacts with it over time, or if
I
it's a
I
part
think
of
the king's
combat.
just a meathead.
Huh, meathead.
That means they just like to exercise a lot.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Wow, exercise and still so well known with nature. This man seems very, very good suited for the ruling class.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's all we really talked about. So if you hear any weird noises, just give a quick peek just to make sure nothing too dangerous. But more than likely, it'll be probably a couple scouts.
All right. Yeah, unless there's anything else, I'll wait till it's kind of darker and then ask, uh, go approach some guards and ask if the king would like to go centipede hunting with me, saying, uh, I was told back in the last village that he was quite the expert in it and was wondering if he would like to join in my.
You're just asking some random guy this at night?
Yeah.
I don't really know that. I'm paid to patrol.
Oh, am I okay to approach his tent then and ask him?
No.
Or- Oh, should is there someone I should ask?
Uh, hold on just a minute. He kind of disappears. He comes back. My sleeping sergeant told me to tell you to fuck off.
All right. I can understand. It has been a long day. Maybe another time. Uh, do you know if you or any of your men would like to come join me? I'm probably going to go into the woods. Usually they like to hide under rocks and logs, and if we're lucky, we may find some venomous snakes as well.
No.
Well, then you have a safe and close night. I'll probably be in the area for about an hour searching, and then, um, I guess you be safe. Jimson will go off to do his nightly search.
Okay, go ahead and roll up that. Survival. No, nature, sorry.
22.
Yep, you're able to find 2 of them.
Sweet. Then, once I get back, I will place them in a bottle and try to make a more potent, from the 2 of them tonight. So I'll only put 4, darts with the 2 of them. And once they are set aside, could I check to see how the antidote, is doing?
Yes, because it has been 24 hours? Yes? Yes. No, did you make those this morning or last night?
I made it in the morning, so I'll have to check.
Yeah, so you'll have to wait for the morning.
Venom. Perfect. Then, that's all for me.
Okay. Anybody else before we move into the next day? No. Okay. Y'all go to sleep. Occasionally, at one point, a decade, you get really irritated when you hear someone kind of poking the wall, and you look out, and it's just an extraordinarily confused soldier just kind of looking at this house that's in the middle of the fucking road. He's kind of poking with a spear, and he sees you looking through the window, super annoyed, and he kind of oh shit, and he wanders off. And then you guys wake up.
Man, those guys are noisy. Really bad at their jobs.
At least they are being concerned, rather than not investigating an area that could hold dangers. It's better to cause some disturbance at night and learn the truth rather than being ignorant and dying a horrible death.
Is that what you think?
I think a lot of things, and being able to understand something to its base value and knowing if it's going to kill me or not, very important.
Does that come from a realm of curiosity or anxiety?
Curiosity.
Uh-huh.
Such as these creatures themselves, and I'll take the bottle with the writhing, agitated centipedes.
These things are fucking pissed at decade.
Mm-hmm. See, being trapped in such a small area, it increases the poison agitation that they produce. So, something that is enclosed and unknown could cause problems. If I was storing this in a darker jar, their agitation could grow more widely, and if somebody was curious enough, they could open it up and be attacked themselves. But being able to see and understand the truth of what's going on can help out in a lot of different ways. Now someone will know this jar has centipedes in it. Maybe I shouldn't just open it willy-nilly.
Probably not. Or do. I want to see what happens.
Oh, I have a procedure for that, and I'll go to the window and just open it there and let the centipedes go like I did last time.
Okay. They immediately fuck off.
Yep.
You hear distantly as somebody has a giant centipede running across their leg.
At least it didn't land on top of a gravekeeper this time. Would you like me to roll a crafting to see how they turned out?
Yes.
Okay.
Potency or quantity?
Potency.
With a 25, because you've made it so many times, it is increased potency. One dice size up.
Perfect. Should I also roll again for the
No, you rolled that already with a 27. Because we didn't. This is what, your first or second time making the antidote?
yeah, this is the first time making the antidote, so it was just a basic. I only added the 2 and the clean.
Okay, so yeah, then going off of it being your first time, you do successfully make 2 of them.
Okay.
But you can't get increased quantity or potency on your first craft.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. I'm sure that the guards are probably going to be getting ready, so we should pack up our stuff too. The cabin, I believe, will take care of itself, so again, just stay 50 feet back, or did you want to speak with them to see if anything happened at night? Gil, you have been pretty studious all this time. Was there something that you were curious as well?
Nope. I'm just kind of watching them. I'm really kind of keeping an eye on the royalty because we don't see them very often because they're always in that big carriage thing. So, like, I don't know. I'm interested to, like, learn more about them, but I know we can't get too close to them because they're protected. And I'm fine. I'll do my best to keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm good.
Well, we are
Thank
going.
you.
Well, we are going to Sandport, so I assume they'll be doing the same thing they did in Honey Willow, in which they just beat the town. So probably an opportunity will present itself there.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
About that time, you guys hear a knock at the door.
I open the door. Come in.
It is Captain Belforth. Well, we are packing up, preparing to move forward to Sandport. Should reach it within about 4 hours. You're welcome to join us or halt on the road another direction. But we just wanted to let you know that we are getting ready to move out.
We'll join you in a bit once we are ready.
Perfect. Look forward to it. And gives the salute again.
Last night, was there any concerns or anything that we may be of service of?
Nothing that I was woken up for.
Great.
So, we look forward to you joining us once again, and we should be leaving within the hour. And he kind of gives the salute and walks off.
What a very noble man. Adeki, you seem to have grown close to him. Will you be staying with us or traveling with them this time?
I mean, we can all travel with them if you want.
They did ask that we stay about 50 feet back. Do you think it will be okay if we travel closer, or should we still keep our distance out of respect?
Let's all try to travel a little closer and see what happens. If they tell us to back off, then we'll just back off. No problem.
All right.
About an hour goes by. Camp is packed up. Lobos are loaded up, and they begin to heave ho forward.
Right. Well, as Adeki said, if follow along, but 30 feet away this time instead of 50, or
Yeah, just say 30 and see what they say.
So as you guys do try to get closer, a couple of the rear gray ones break off. The deal was 50 feet.
Oh, sorry, we misjudged the distance. We'll hang back a bit more.
Understandable. Don't let it happen again, please. And they get back in formation.
I just kind of shrug to the rest of the group and just wait a bit and just keep walking 50 feet behind.
sounds good.
After a couple hours, you guys do make it into Sandport. And, people are there, ready, greeting. The fuck is this bitch's name? She's module, not
Mayor?
my notes, yeah. Lady, starts with an A. She's module written, she's not mine.
Let's see.
Arden?
Yes, Lady Arden. Is kind of standing in the center of town, dressed in her best, greets Captain Belforth, and again, there's even more people in Sandport, so the crowd's even louder. Um, kind of greets the captain as they come in, the nobles come out, whole process basically starts all over again. And the nobles and the advisor are taken to the All Faith Temple.
Abdul, I know that you've been gone from it for a while, but do you know if you'll be allowed into the All Faith Temple while they are visiting, or would it be best if we stayed cleared like we did with the tavern before?
Well, I still have my room. I don't assume that I have lost it.
Oh, that is fair. I just know that in some cases of privacy, well, would they not allow somebody to enter a temple?
What was that? You broke up.
Would they not allow someone to enter a temple for any reason?
Oh no, too many accents. Jesus, not too many. The people of Lordaeron are very supportive of religion. It is not quite completely central to their beliefs and traditions, but it is up there. So I do not believe that they would stop us because I am part of that temple.
Ah, that is fair. Well, if it may be good to learn more of what they may be saying if we are allowed to. But we also need to return with the quest information and let them know that what we have sent out is accomplished. Should we all do that together, or should we split up to into groups to do that?
I am fine with whatever we want to do.
Gil, I know that you were interested in learning more about the royalty. Um, what if you and Abdul head to the temple, while Deki and I turn in this quest and see if there's anything else? Then we will join you there later. Does that sound all right?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Well, come on, my little fish friend.
Okie dokie.
Okay, those two wander off to the temple. We'll handle the quest turn-in real quick because that's fast.
Mhm.
So you guys approach Justicar James, who, obviously the magistrate and the barracks are very busy today. But he sees you approach. Ah, yes. Here for that werewolf turn-in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
Give him I guess paper?
We received word from some of the Grey Watchers of your exploits with Honeywillow, so even though you did not bring proof, I'll still pay you the full price. So, he kind of slams a bag on the counter. 1,000 gold, as promised.
Ah, thank you, Justicar.
Not a problem. Once things quiet down, come back and speak with me. I may have another job for you.
Of course. We'll be back later once things quiet down.
Perfect, sounds great. I look forward to it. Now, if you don't mind, I am sorry, but I have a city with our king in it, and I am very busy.
Fair enough.
Best of
Take
luck
care.
with your duties, and thank you for your time.
Oh, I can always squeeze in a few for a Hunters Guild quest, especially for the protection of one of our villages. I think that is quite fair. Thank you again, and take care, and, don't do anything stupid while they're here.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Perfect. And he turns around and continues his conversation with what you would assume is probably some of his higher ranking guards.
I guess we head back to the temple.
Okay. So as you're walking with Abdul, because Abdul's the DMPC, so if you guys want to talk to Abdul, you have to talk to him. He's not just going to strike up conversation. So, what do you talk about with Abdul, Gil?
Um, yeah, I'm pretty fascinated to see these, the royalty again. I really hope we get to see them while we're in here. Do you have to? I mean, do you know of any like? Do you know where they are right now in here? Where they would be?
In the temple, probably in the High Cleric's office with Lady Arden.
I bet that's pretty secure.
Quite.
Yeah. I was hoping there'd be like a cool secret passage you knew about that we could like spy on them or something. But like,
Of course I do.
oh, well that's perfect because that's what I want to do.
Well, finding hidden things is my job, my little friend. That's the wrong fucking accent again. I'm doing too many accents today.
You do Texan next.
Lot of NPC talking.
Howdy, folks. Name's Abdul.
Yeah, right? Of course I do. And knowing hidden things is my job. Come along. And he kind of takes you to a side passage and looks left and he looks right. Doesn't see anybody, and he lifts up and he grabs a candelabra and pulls it. And a door just kind of shaped to look like stone and everything blends in completely.
Oh, that
It
is
just
so cool.
Kind of hangs open a little bit.
I feel like. Oh, never mind. Yeah, this is really cool. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You're the best, Abdul.
Thank you, friend. Shall we then?
Oh, absolutely. And I sneak my
But you
way
must
into the
be
passage.
very quiet. Because if we are caught, I'm pretty sure that we are going to be tried for treason.
Oh, well, I'll do my best.
Okay. Stealth roll. 18? Not a great roll, but Abdul's got really high stealth. Yeah, he's fine. He rolled higher than you.
Nice.
So, as you guys, he kind of leads you down this kind of winding tunnel. Temple's fairly fresh. There's not like cobwebs or anything, super spooky. And kind of weaves you through this tunnel that leads to a small grate, and he kind of puts a finger over his maw and points towards the grate. Like a
Just-
shush motion.
Yep. I nod my head in understanding and kind of scooch close to the grate, and I don't know. Can I safely peer through the grate?
At your height, absolutely not.
Okay. I will just listen.
The reports have gotten much worse, Lady Arden. Yes, I know. She's uncontrollable. We need to get control of her. Yes, I am aware. You should also know that recently a group of adventurers has uncovered possible betrayer involvement. Well, that's fine. But their involvement means nothing. They're locked away. Heroes of old saw to that. I was there for some of it. It is still quite concerning. It is not a coincidence that the temple was just now built, and just now this is all coming to light. I do not disagree with you at all. That the safety and security of Lordaeron must remain our central focus. Of course. I have another question for you, Lady Arden. Yes. I have received word that you have fallen prey to this anti-beast race prejudice. that same group of adventurers that you condemned were the ones that helped save this city. Yes, and I was wrong. It is difficult to... The things you hear a very large fist slam on a desk. I do not care what you hear. This is not what Lordaeron stands for. This close to the calamity, this close to the war, this close to the loss of all of those lives, the last thing we need is prejudice spreading like a plague through my kingdom. Yes, Your Majesty, I understand. Perfect. Now, get Nualia under control. Maybe you could hire those adventurers that you spoke of so highly, even with your initial disdain. Maybe they can do something. I hear from my captain that one of them seems to be noble of cause. So, maybe you should reach out to them. I think I will. My captain also shared another story with me. One that sounded familiar. What is that, my lord? He told me that one of the adventurers told him a story that they recently got a Hunter's Guild quest for a werewolf, and upon its death it turned into a pool of ichor. That shouldn't be possible. That threat was dealt with. Well, we assumed it was, and apparently it wasn't. So, keep an eye out. Yes, my lord. And again, get your sister under control, or my Grey Watchers will do it for you, and we'll find someone better to run Sandport. Yes, my lord. Now, the business is out of way. Let us share a drink and celebrate your new tempo. Of course, my lord. And you hear kind of the clinking of glasses, and they kind of move on to a more casual conversation.
I'll look over to Abdul and kind of...
He's like rapidly pointing for you to back out of the fucking...
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah. So you guys get to the end, he kind of pokes his head out, looks left, looks right, and just to see if there's anybody around. No. Okay. And he kind of exit and rushes you out and pulls the door shut and like does that like I'm totally not walking fast walk, and you're like having to almost like jog to keep up with him as you guys kind of hustle back to his room. And right about the time that those two would hit the door for Abdul's room, you two arrive.
Oh,
There
look
you
who
are.
it is.
Were you able to find any?
He just puts a finger on Jamison's mouth and grabs all of you and throws you in the room.
Oh dear.
All right, fine. Here's your share. God.
Closes the door. You heard all of that, correct?
I sure did. Yep.
They know
So,
something.
yeah. Yep, they definitely know something about that, whatever that was that we killed that looked like a werewolf, whether it actually was or not. They know what that was. And did we already know that the lady that's causing all the trouble is the sister to the
No, I did not know that either.
Yeah, I thought that was new information too. I thought maybe that had been revealed and I kind of let that slide under the radar, but that time I definitely heard it and was definitely paying attention.
Wait, I thought that Nualia was the issue. Is
Yeah.
Nualia? Is there someone else other than Nualia who's at play?
Well, apparently Nualia's sister is the mayor?
Well, no.
What is
I
she?
thought
She's essentially a mayor.
so. Nualia's the sister to the mayor. I thought Nualia was one who was related to Amiko, the girl who we found unconscious. Also, we should probably check on the status of Amiko and why she was being held in her family's business, but that's a whole other thing. Is Nualia the sister of the mayor, Abdul?
Yep. Oh,
I
I'm not Abdul.
I do not know. This is new information for me too. I thought that the only siblings were Nualia, Amico, and Shoto.
Should we check up on the Miko while everyone's more or less distracted with the king?
I think that that's a very wise idea.
Do you
Was it-
know where they're being held?
She's probably still in the infirmary. Her condition was pretty bad.
What else information did you learn while you were there? Anything that we can talk?
He was pretty pissed about their prejudice against us for being, and he holds up, the air quotations, beast races. He did not enjoy that she was so cruel to us at first.
Oh, well, that is a good trait for a king to have. I understand the prejudice that they may have, but being able to hold such a view is understandable, but very kind.
Yeah, he has my vote.
What's a vote?
Anything
I was
else?
kind of hoping you knew.
Votes are fucking, come on. Votes are not that foreign of a concept.
I know.
You live in America. Hello, how do you get your president?
Actually, Gil, how does your society run? Is it like king?
No, his society literally is capitalist. Like, when I built America, it's literally just America.
And everywhere you see is another water park. God.
Yeah, there's the top 1%, everybody else is broke as fuck, their healthcare is, oh my god, levels expensive and probably doesn't work, and they vote their president.
I did hear that you did tell us something about Joe Blubber just being voted out.
He'd hate it.
Yep, he's done for.
I'm not making that canon.
I know.
Some other guy, Donald Trout. I'm not sure. That guy's taken over.
Did they say anything more about the liquid that came out of it? I was curious, but also no to not say anything about it.
They did mention an Ichor, so I would imagine whatever Adeki told them, they relayed to the king himself, and he seems to have some knowledge of what that is, but he didn't reveal it in his conversation.
It is quite clear that both the king and Lady Arden know of the Ichor and what it might be, but did not discuss any details.
Hearing Ichor for the first time, would I be able to do any rolls, or is that something that's just a term that's used for things?
It's just a term that's used for things.
Perfect.
Your character could easily make the connection.
Well,
Cool.
from the sound of it, things are probably going more our ways now, but we should still keep everything we've learned to ourselves for now until we learn more.
Oh,
Yes, but-
also, whatever the Ichor thing was, it's a pre-existing problem that they thought that they had taken care of. So this is like, it sounds like it's kind of like a secret, almost like a conspiracy type thing. So this might be something we keep close to the chest.
Do you think it's related to the calamity?
I think it is very possible. King Greymane has been on the throne for the vast majority of the calamity and took over just a few years after the war.
87, no. That's how old he is.
Now, he's been on the throne for 87 years.
87, okay, yeah, I was right.
But he's been alive for just a few years after the war.
Right, okay.
Hey, either way, let's hurry over to Amiko if we're allowed to go meet with her, see her condition, and see what we can learn.
Do you know any other cool passages to get there?
To the infirmary, of course. Would you like to explore it?
I mean, secret passages? Because that's what was really cool. You guys.
Well, it's not a secret if I tell you, is it?
Well, we.
He does
can
have a
this.
point there,
God damn it.
but
I'm just fucking with you. Of course, I will take her to the passage. Come on.
Check this out,
And he
guys. This
kind
is
of does
cool.
the same thing on the opposite side of the hallway, and it's just basically a shortcut to the infirmary.
I could
Opens the
see.
front door.
So you pop in. There's a you kind of startle Priest as you come through. Oh, sorry. Um, and there's a few people on beds, and you do see Amiko. She's sitting up, knitting, because I can't think of another activity.
Um,
Hi, Miko. What you knitting there?
I don't really know. I just picked up the hobby, and I'm not very good at it. But I'm
look at it like how it's like,
incredibly bored.
oh,
fair enough. Want to play with his paddle ball?
Possibly. Are you the ones that saved me by any chance?
Yeah, we found you in that weird tunnel.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Is it okay we just ask you a couple questions?
I assumed that whoever brought me here would have questions, yes?
Perfect.
first of all, how are you feeling? I think that's important to ask.
Can I look over to the priest in the room to see what they're looking at us?
No, they're tending to their duties. They're not paying attention.
Okay. Carry on.
Uh, how are you feeling? When we found you, you were in quite a disheveled state and not able to hold on to your own consciousness. It seemed like you had been malnourished and trapped in there for quite a long time. But I could not find any other medical reasons or magical understanding at the time of why you became in that state. Do you, so how are you? You seem like you have more color to your skin, as if you have gained more nutrients over time.
Well, that's quite a direct way to say that they've been feeding me a very healthy diet, and I happen to feel fine. As for how I... God, this is me, not her.
I thought excellent
Slightly
art.
I feel fine! Blah, blah,
slightly expecting you to say like she begins coughing up ichor on us.
blah. Hey, I understand. It's me as a DM, and that would be a fair assumption. But no, I'm just choking on my spit like a fucking Neanderthal. Anyways, yes, they've been feeding me quite a healthy diet, and as for how I ended up that way, I disagreed with what my siblings were doing, and paid a price for it.
I'm sorry to hear that. I know they didn't make it through, but do you have any other siblings or relatives you would be able to stay with in the meantime while you recover?
Fortunately, no. Shoto and Nuala were all I had left.
Deception check?
Sure, that would be you can either roll deception or perception.
Perception is probably not as high, but I'll do deception. Ooh, nat 20!
Well, she seems to be telling the truth. There's no visible signs of a lie or like she's trying to hide anything. She genuinely believes that her only siblings are Nualia and Shoto.
I see. Um, this may be strange. Have you been able to talk with the mayor of the town, Lady Arden? She was the one who led us to be able to find you, thankfully, and seemed to be very concerned for your health. Have
She
you been
can
able to...
She gives a small puzzled look. You know, it is kind of weird that the mayor of this town has visited me so much, but yes, I've spoke with her on several occasions.
Oh yeah, she was the one who sent us to the job, so she was probably just as curious as us.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad she sent you my way, because if not, I don't think I would have lived. And there's kind of like a small, like, realization on her face that her siblings probably would have killed her.
Well, I am sorry to pass information that the business was destroyed by Nualia and...
That's perfectly fine. It was just a gun running front anyway.
Oh,
Uh, hmm.
what
I'm
about...
sorry, you might not actually know what those are. They're a rather new found technology in which you can combine black powder with metal balls and I guess what you could say is a tube, and you could use this device to deal great amounts of damage.
Do we know what cannons are?
Yeah, you know what it can. Ah, that's perfect. That's a better analogy. Guns are sort of like a small handheld cannon.
Hmm. I was wondering what you were doing with so much black powder. The connection to that does make sense, and why enough of it was able to be gathered to destroy an entire industry. I'm so sorry, I was getting invested. Do you happen to know more about well, what was underneath and connected to the place of business and the area you were being held? The
Yes, it was a passage that led to the coast. That's how my siblings ran the empire. It was, of course, more than guns. It was drugs, stolen goods, and I had to draw the line when they started to trade in souls, in people.
Oh,
Then you're
dear.
aware of all the occultism that was going down there.
Unfortunately, yes.
I'm
Do you
so
know how all this started?
My father made a deal he should have never made. A deal with a dark force that I myself don't even understand. Little by little, over time, they began to show up and demand things of our family. Things that some of us didn't want to do, especially my father. And at first I was enamored with the glamour and the money of it all. You know, what's a 16-year-old kid with almost an unlimited bankroll is intoxicating. But the deals became darker. And when my father tried to put his foot down, my siblings killed him. And that's when I began to question things. And it only got darker and darker from there. And again, when my siblings decided to begin trading in the souls of others, in their lives, that's where I drew the line. And I assumed that they wanted me removed from the picture.
That is both a horrifying story and shows your braveness. Being able to stand for yourself and being able to see mistakes that have been made is a very hard process that many humans have seem to struggle with. But being able to do that and live through what you have done, that is very noble.
Well, for all my nobility, I have no money, a name that shames me. My brother is dead, thank you, and my family house is blown to pieces. So, don't really have shit to show for my nobility, do I?
No,
Ability is overrated, and hell, you could probably make a new name for yourself. Start fresh. I know that's saying a lot, but
I think that's what I might do. I hear Oldham is hot year-round, but it's far away.
I will let you know before you start thinking of travel plans. We aren't the only ones who will be questioning you today. You see, there has been. You may have heard the buzz, but the king himself is here in town, and if there has been anything going on the town, would like to probably investigate it. You may be being questioned by some of his knights, or maybe even some of the royalty themselves. Just as a preparation note, I don't
Okay,
know if they'll be asking what's going on.
so I know I've pulled this card several times today, mostly to move this session along. But hilariously and unironically, because you chose to do this now, about then the door opens. This one's genuinely pure coincidence. And King Greymane, followed by Lady Arden, walk in.
Oh,
Oh, I
well.
would shoot straight up and just bow to the king.
Oh, speaking of them, uh, as I was saying, the king is visiting in town today, and he may want to speak with you since there were some things going on. I believe this is him here. Hello, Lord. How are you doing today?
Hello, little Leshy, how are you?
I'm doing quite well. We were here to see how the one that was injured and needed to take some time to recover was doing, and I was letting her. Well, I believe you have already pieced everything together. Would you like some time, by yourselves to ask some questions, or would you like us here?
He kind of like leans his head over his shoulder slightly. Is this them? Yes, this is the adventurers that we spoke of. So you are the adventurers that took down the glass blowing factory and saved my village of Honeywillow?
Yes, that would be us. Well, I hope you've only heard good things about us.
Oh, I have. And he kind of gives just his head like a slight kind of bow. I thank you for your service. And while I'm thinking of it, he kind of snaps his fingers a few times, and his advisor, Valanther, steps forward and, yes, my lord. King's favor, please. Of course, my lord. And he kind of spins and sits at a desk and begins writing something. So, where are you all off to next? What's your next adventure?
Well, just a card James did say to pop in later for a possible new job, so we might be doing that. But other than that, no real big plans at the moment. We were just checking up on Miko since we did rescue her from the tunnel to make sure everything she was alright and see what she knew.
As of now, we're just getting established here within your beautiful country. I've lived in the forests in the areas for a while, but am trying to understand it a bit better. I believe all of us are, well, just trying to catch our feet up. Our friend Abdul here is a servant of this temple, but has been aiding us as however he can during the circumstances that have been befalling us.
Yes, I have been following closely, and you notice he never really looks King Greymane in his face. He just kind of keeps his head down. And Greymane kind of gives him an up and down, kind of like a knowing look, kind of cocks an eyebrow slightly, and continues the conversation. Well, where are you all from?
I am from the northern forests. I serve the Great Witch Grelda as an alchemist assistant, and once my skills have progressed enough, she sent me on my own alchemical quest to understand the natures of compounds a lot better before I can come and aid her in her further studies.
Interesting. What about you, little Athamaru?
Oh, if you
Are
know
you
what
from
I am,
Marika?
I certainly am. It is a pleasure to meet you, Your Highness. And I give a
It is a
deep,
pleasure to
deep
meet
bow.
you. You don't see people from Marika too often.
No, they mostly stick to what they know. But I wanted to see bigger, better things, so here I am. And let me tell you, I'm impressed. Good job.
It is certainly not all my efforts. And you, noble swordsman, where are you from?
Oh god, what's it called? I haven't really developed a story for him, but
That's
what
fair.
was
You
the
could
what was
pick
the
anywhere in Lordaeron.
I'm from the colder regions of Lordaeron. I'm from a noble house of blank, and that's where I used to serve.
Really? Hmm. Greymore. Not what I expected. But, well, they're on my list. My shit list, unfortunately. They're on our visit back, and I do believe that I'll be replacing a few people.
Well, who am I to question your judgment? But yeah.
Well, I hear how they treat the servants, and I simply cannot stand for that.
Yes, well, it could have been a lot better.
It could have been, and every soul in Lordaeron deserves the same treatment. Servant, papa, or politician, noble, doesn't matter. If there's one thing I've learned in my time is that at the end of the day, when the shit hits the, well, shit, and the world is burning, your station doesn't matter. And people should be treated as such.
I'm glad you
So,
have a noble goal, though. uniting Northern culturally, and well, not to discriminate everyone based on their backgrounds, I suppose.
Kind of looks you up and down and gives you a sly smile. Yes, well, beast folk have their place too.
Beast folk
So-
lives matter.
Oh my god. BFLM. Right.
This here is.
Decided that was the perfect time to rip my headphones out of my computer.
Oh no.
Whatever that was.
Right, well, we do have a few questions for Miss Miko here, and yes, we would enjoy some privacy, so if you all do not mind.
Of course, we shall head back to our friend Abdul's chambers if you need anything.
Of course. And as he's turning, Valanther is already presenting him a folded piece of parchment. King's favor, as you asked, my lord. Perfect. Here, and he hands it to, out to a decade.
I grab it.
Use this. This is a one-time use. And you may want to hold on to it, but it can either A, get you any item you want at any vendor in my kingdom and my command, or B, get you out of trouble once.
Oh, wow. This is such a great honor. I don't even know what to say.
Well, you did more of a greater service than you probably think that you did, and that deserves to be rewarded. Now, again, I don't want to be hasty, but I need you all to get out.
Ah, of course. We shouldn't keep him. So,
Thank you
I
for your
would,
time.
thank you for everything, Lord. And then I'll give
So-
a bow and leave the room.
Okay, so as a decade, specifically, as you walk past the Lanther, it's a weird golden sheen in his eyes. And his eyes swear they grow wider for just a second as you walk past him. And then you all...
Does he trigger my same changer's intuition at all?
He does not.
He does. Okay, I just wanted to see if he's up to anything goofy.
No, we'll just say that this party hasn't discovered a certain power they have yet.
Okay.
So you all exit the room and shut the door behind you. What do we do?
Head to Abdul's room and fucking talk there.
Back to Abdul's room.
Drat, I was so impressed by him, I forgot to take time to ask if you wanted to talk.
Say that again. I think you cut out.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna assume talk about centipedes, but you cut out.
Yeah, give me a sec.
Oh, he died. The king fucking just ate him like a cabbage.
Hope that
One hand bites his head off.
Oh no. Anyway, yeah, I was saying, Trat, I forgot again to ask him about his knowledge of centipedes. Hearing he was an expert, but maybe next time. He does seem quite busy. Oh gosh, are you talking about a werewolf eating?
Yes, we are. Yeah, you're just now putting that together.
Oh, no.
Very large werewolf at that. He is a supreme alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, no, he is like the big fucking werewolf of the world.
Fucking Sigma Alpha guy over here.
Yeah. His health his stat block, he is 52 health shy of having 4 digits.
But is he immune
More
to
digits.
poison?
Oh my god.
Yeah, he is 948 health.
We got this.
I mean, you gotta remember this guy, he He was one of the major components of the Calamity. He was the main like NPC for the Elemental Fury campaign. Like he was like the dude that like was like the main contact point for that entire campaign. He is insanely powerful.
Was this a player's character?
No, Greymane's always been an NPC.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, he's just straight up just a werewolf, just as written.
I made him one.
Oh, he made her one. Just like, no, you could be cooler.
Yeah, well, when I when I was creating all the kingdoms, I wanted something like somewhat unique. Because like Darnassus has like the barter system, and the like again functioning communism, as well as the Grand Librarian. It's got Night Elves. So, well, when I came to Lordaeron, like, what can I do, to make it unique? And before the prejudice thing came in, because it does eventually come in, not in this campaign. Uh, it was like, well, what if they were like ruled by like a natural born werewolf family? Like, that'd be kind of interesting. And so I just developed from that, and that's where Greymane came from.
Nice.
So I just tried to give each kingdom something unique about it, and theirs is that and to this day, when you guys go to Lordaeron, it is still ran by the Greymane family. So if the Friday party were to ever meet the king for any reason, he's sorry, actually, it's the queen now. She's still Greymane. Anyways,
What were we talking about? Centipede.
I do believe that the decade was just fucking with you. I don't think that he actually knows anything.
You never know. King's been around for a long time. He's gonna develop any hobbies he wants.
Possibly. That is fair.
Yep.
I should not assume.
He could be a bug collector for all we know.
That is very true. I don't know his hobbies.
Anywho, well, it was a shame we didn't have more time to talk with Miko, but I don't think he has any hostile intent. But he seems to be trying to get at the bottom of this, and from the looks of it, he might appoint us to this job if he's so inclined.
I do find it quite interesting, yes, that he is so directly involved with this particular issue, plus with what me and Gail heard earlier. There's definitely more to this story that we do not know. Again, I think that Hideki is right, that we should still play this close to the chest with what we do know. I think it is time that I reveal this, but I work for an order called the Sapphire Hand. We are a worldwide organization that tries to keep those in power in check. Keep close eyes on kings and queens and ruling parties to make sure that the values of our patron are being honored.
Well, Greymane seems to be holding out that mantle pretty well, at least from what I've seen from him so far.
Well, yes, he puts on a good face. I don't know anything to the contrary, to be fair. But kings and queens have always been good at putting on a face, so I'm not saying that he's bad. But you can never truly say that the noble is good either. The way they behave in public versus the way they behave in closed doors is often drastically different.
Were you sent to Sandport by the Sapphire Hand to keep an eye on the mayor?
I was.
Makes sense now. Okay.
I mean, as far as I know, the mayor's a bit of a dick, but I don't think they have any.
I've not revealed much. I was told about a possible illegal operation somewhat close to the city, and that she may be involved, and that is all I knew. So I spent the last few years attempting to discover what I can.
Right, but I guess the only mystery to her right now is how she's connected to Miko. Supposedly they're siblings, but
That is one
Miko.
connection I've never made. I connected the other three.
Actually,
There
since we've
was
seen them both up close now, do they seem similar at all?
uh mm, they're similar build, but it's kind of like that level of sibling where it's like when you look at them and you know they're siblings, you're like, yeah, I could see it. But if you didn't know they were siblings, you just be like, they look kind of similar. That's a little weird. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to know they're siblings to see the very subtle similarities, but they're more than different enough that you wouldn't just know off the top of your head.
Right. And thinking about it now, they do seem somewhat similar, so I wonder what their connection is. So far, the Emiko only talked about her father, but we don't really know much about their mother.
I think that is the connection. And this is the only connection I've never been able to find. I've never been able to find the. What the fuck is their last name? Nualia's mother. Because I don't know their last name. Kachitsu. I do not know the matriarch of the Kachitsu family. I have no information on her at all. So that has to be the only remaining connection.
Would there be anybody else in town who knows anything about the Kojutsus?
If they're here, I have not found them in the years that I've been here.
What about Red? He seems to have been here for a while.
It's possible. We could go ask him.
I do believe we'll probably have to wait around until we are dismissed at this point, unfortunately. It does seem the king and the rest of the royalties here, I don't know if they are done with us. It might be best if we pursue this tomorrow. Though, I am sorry that the investigation led to so much trouble, and I do want to thank you for being willing to share that information. Is this information you would still like to keep to yourself, even if the royalty asks us if we're connected to anything?
Yes. If you tell anyone, I will kill you. I have to. It's in my code.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you again for sharing that with us. I do prefer being alive, so knowing what's keeping us safe is very important.
You don't understand sarcasm at all, do you?
He does not. It's one of his better traits, if I'm being completely honest.
Oh, well,
That was
I won't
sarcasm.
kill you, but I would much rather, yes, keep that as secret as possible, because if my identity is revealed, well, then I don't get to be part of the Sapphire Hand anymore.
I mean, technically we're not a part of Sapphire Hand, so technically we're not lying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who the hell are you?
Exactly.
If it's fair, I also don't know what's being talked about.
Well, that's commonplace. So, what do we want to fill the rest of our day with? I do agree with Jimson. Maybe we should wait here and see if anyone comes knocking.
Maybe wait until... It might be good if we wait until dinner time. See, and usually by then they will have all of their... Well, actually, no, Jimson wouldn't know this, but maybe wait till dinner. And if nothing happens by then, we can head out or approach a guard and ask if it is okay if we take our leave for the day.
I mean, I wouldn't mind staying around here for a bit if you guys want to go read a book or do something else in town. I can stand post.
Well, I was planning on taking some time to read as well, though maybe with everything going on, the book that I wanted to read would not be appropriate. Remember the book that I found while we were underneath the city? The one within that magical lair that seemed to encapsulate me by some type of unknown power? I still
one
haven't
with
had time
the-
to read it.
No, the one with the weird bird that we melted.
Aw, the bird.
I'm sorry about that. I thought it would do something, but
No, it was smart, but yeah, that
I know
book.
I'm saying that in character was like I don't know. I thought it would do something.
But also, sad. Sad.
Sad shrug. I don't know.
But do you think that now would be a good time to to read this, or should we still keep this hidden as well?
Do you have a hidden room, Abdul, that he can read this in? Actually, isn't this room? No, that was the other room. Yeah, do you have like a hidden space in here?
Epic closet.
I mean, are you
Perfect.
opposed to reading in a closet?
I'm more thinking if it has any magical properties to it. I don't think hiding in a closet will block anything that may come out from it. I'm just wondering if you think it's okay for us to reveal something like this, or if it's something that we should keep close to the chest as a few other things at this time.
I think that a book about the betrayers is something that we should keep hidden very well.
Okay, I'll keep it with our other book of the betrayers that we found on your old dead master. Was
Yes.
he part of the Silver Hand as well, or was he someone you were investigating?
That Perkins.
It is important because Silverhand exists as well. He was just a leader of the temple. He was not part of my order. No one in the city that I'm aware of is.
Nuwalia?
What about Nualia?
Oh, I thought. I don't know if you cut out or didn't find a main. All I heard was the only one that I was aware of is.
Oh, as far as I'm aware, no one in the city is part of my order.
Okay. Oh, sorry. All right then. Keep that. We'll keep that safe for now. Thank you. I just want to make sure. Then
I would like to test something.
go ahead.
Try and open the book.
All right. I'll go through my pack, and once I find it, I'll gladly open the book.
It doesn't.
I'll try again.
Try with all your might. It doesn't open.
15 strength.
I do not think that the book wants to be read in here. As he just
You know what?
gestures at the temple of the beloveds that you're standing in.
Can I smack
Oh.
the book? It would just be like that book.
Yeah, the deck gets blown into a wall.
Oh dear, that is. Huh.
Oh.
I never thought that some type of codex would have an aversion to the environment that it's actually in, especially when it comes to religious affiliation, even though it was so close to it before. That's very clever.
I think that it is a little bit more tied to them than you may assume. You should be careful with that book. It could lead to some dark things. I mean, just the title itself is more than enough to cause concern.
I believe it was written in the demon language, so
Yes, which Abdul is not here for, and I am now.
yes, I didn't know what. You said it was a demon language and to not worry about it at the time. Would you be able to tell us what it says, or is that something that we should also maybe not know just for our own safety of the time?
I think we're quite far down the rabbit hole, so maybe it is time. It's called the Tome of the Tortured King. Well, that will end the session.
Woo!
Wonderful.
It is, isn't it? Jarek.
Yep. Oh my god.
Guess what Jarek's vestige name is?
Yep.
I was like, oh fuck.
Well, thank you so much. This was really nice to get back to, kind of get myself immersed with these mechanics and play around as these characters. This was really fun. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you weren't. I think you were still on break when I came back. I was talking to a decade. I found my old preparation notes for how this like ties into my timeline. So I'm at the expense of Gil, and I'll explain things as we go along the way. but primarily using this for you two to learn additional stuff for Friday's games. Like, hey, we have Jarek's vestige sitting in our hands.
That is so cool.
Do with that information as you wish.
So, and thank you for toughing it out, Gil, and learning about the things as we move along, because they obviously have, granted, not a ton more, but more knowledge than you of the setting and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm picking it up as we go along.
So, but it was a good game. I'm good for next week. If you guys are good for next week, we'll check in on the day and we'll just go forward from there.
Sound
What
good to
is
me.
Thursday?
Oh. Gil, I did want to just mention something since I work at a school. Do your kids have Monday off as well? Is that going to affect anything that you need to do?
They do have Monday off, but it won't affect anything as far as
Cool.
games for the
Well,
rest of the week.
I wasn't worried about games for the rest of the week. I just know sometimes life can get in the way when unexpected things happen. Had a few last year. I had a parent who brought their kid to school on a day that was off, and it caused a whole lot of problems.
Oh
Because
gosh.
yeah, so I just wanted to say something in that sort of stand just to make sure everything was lining up well.
Yeah, luckily I work every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm used to
Mhm.
getting my kids every other Monday, usually in the afternoon. But that day, my ex will just bring them to the house at some time in the afternoon, and they'll be right as rain. I'll probably
Cool
sleep
beans.
until 3 o'clock, and
Sweet.
then we'll have the rest of the day together. So
Good. I'm glad to hear it. And I'm glad things are working out, and I'm sure they're going to be extra happy because they didn't have to be at school too.
yeah, yeah.
I
Yes,
don't know, I
they
work
will.
Monday, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Yup.
Gonna fucking sleep the fuck in.
My
So-
wife's probably going to get me to move a bookshelf.
Fun.
You tell her to do it herself.
She's a strong, independent woman.
Yeah, right?
I tried that once.
Where'd
Once.
you sleep that night?
Well, me and my wife actually don't sleep in the same bed. She's an extremely light sleeper, and I am a toss turner and snore. So when we sleep together, it's her constantly being woke up by me, who then in turn wakes me up to tell me to stop doing the things I'm doing while I'm sleeping. So we actually don't sleep in the same bed. It's just easier for us.
Very fair.
How very 30s of you.
Yeah, right? Exactly, yeah. Well, it wasn't always that way. We tried the first, we moved in 2 years into our relationship. We tried, I think, the first, 2 years to really do it. To, sleep together, and we had these fucking issues, and I fell asleep on the couch once. She was like, that was the best sleep I ever got, since we've been together. And I was like, okay, well, we could just try that. And then for a solid 2 months, I was sleeping on the couch and she was sleeping in the bed, and she's like, no, I miss you, I want to cuddle you, this isn't how couples sleep, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, fucking whatever, I'll sleep in bed again, I'll sleep on the couch, it's fine. We made it halfway through one night and she goes, I changed my mind, get the fuck out. So we bought a second bed and have slept separately ever since. It just works for us.
My parents do the same thing because my mom's a light sleeper, and my dad has a medically oversized tongue, so he's a scream snorer. Where
Oh God.
Mhm.
I need to look this up.
where he he's looked into tongue reduction surgeries and been told by doctors the amount that we'd have to remove would basically remove your ability to talk well.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we still sleep together on the weekend every now and again, but yeah, for the most part, we sleep separate because I don't get woke up 15 times for something I can't control while I'm sleeping, and she can actually sleep through the entire night. So
Sounds like a moose.
I'm glad things work out like that. My wife goes to bed early, and then I wait about 3 hours to make sure she's in a deep sleep before I go into bed.
oh yeah, my wife said that she's an early pass rounder too. She is out super early every night. It's the only reason I can do so many games is because I play Yeah, once we get this back to regular, I play on Sundays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, every other Saturday, and sometimes 2 games on Sunday if I play my in-person Pathfinder.
That
Play a lot of games.
that sounds very fun and also like a lot of games.
It's a lot of games, which is why I constantly fuck my accents up. Because I DM for 4 of them and play as a player in 3 of them. 2 of them. 3. Saturdays I play as a player.
You should just start bullshitting your accents. Just the most random shit. Like, oh,
Just start changing it, yeah. Well, like, fucking Jack has been completely rebuilt, so I don't know what I'm gonna do for his accent anymore. He's not even a sorcerer anymore.
Base accent.
I don't have Vash's accent yet.
I was gonna do like this like really high pitched kind of Cockney trickster thing. Sound like just kind of mischievous, but that's just not what or who he is anymore. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do now.
I'm
For-
just terrible with accents, so I can do a accent. I'm just never consistent with it, so I usually just kind of.
Nah, I can tell when you're playing as Jarek. Jarek it's subtle, but there is one there. I don't know if it's like you're just trying to sound intelligent or whatever, but there's something there for Jarek. I can hear it.
I speak a little bit slower and try to speak more gracefully and intelligently.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to put on some crazy fucking accent to make it sound like you are something.
To put on the fucking accent.
Yeah, you don't have to put on the crazy accent. Sometimes just changing the inflection of your voice is more than enough to put on a completely different show.
Yeah, I'm just bad at that. I'm trying to work on it.
Yeah, just use your natural voice and change the inflection and pace in which you speech.
That's my good lad.
So I think you do well for Jarek. I think it's good.
For Vash, from the little conversation that we got to try out, I immediately thought of the salesman from the Resident Evil series.
He's just Billy Mays.
what are you buying?
Can he be Billy Mays?
Hi, Billy Mays here.
Hi, Vash here.
Give
Hi,
myself-
Vash here. Can I interest you with a dagger in the throat? No? Well, it's already there.
Get your shit and get out.
Or
You guys
the
want to do
Flex
some
Seal guy.
cocaine and have a heart attack?
Be the Flex Seal guy, and then when you crit, sneak attack. Now that's a lot of damage!
Die now and get a second death free. And I'm now being too loud. Sorry, love.
Oh, God. You woke her up, you motherfucker.
Yep, I'm being asked to close the door.
Oh my god, yeah. That's a lot of damage.
You're in trouble tonight, buddy.
I love you, so sorry.
Oh, shit, he's cooked.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Oh yeah, I had soup.
Okay.
He had soup.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for Jack anymore. I was gonna kind of do this accent kind of up here. This is slightly Australian, but a little high pitched and a little kind of manic. But his character's completely fucking changed. He's a blood hunter now, so.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's completely different. Like, he's not even a caster anymore.
Okay.
So, I don't really know.
Years, but fuck it, blood magic.
Yeah, pretty well. I was trying to cram too many concepts into the same character, and so I just I was talking with Jimmy about Nash and stuff, and I was like, I'm just trying to do those micro role plays we were talking about. I discovered that there was one aspect of his character I really wanted to lean into, rather than trying to balance all of it. Like every time we did the little micro plays with role plays with Jack and Nash, it was always me coming back to that portion of his character concept. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna double down on that and drop everything else because it was just too much to handle at once. And that's what I did. So
Everybody.
I've completely leaned into a singular aspect of his character, and that didn't work as a trickster sorcerer thing. So, but Blood Hunter did. So I swapped.
What's the subclass?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. I'm going to dip. Gentlemen, it was a pleasure.
All right.
I will see you guys next week.
Yep. I'm gonna go pass out, guys. I'll see a couple of you tomorrow, and I will see you next week, Joe.
All right.
Think again,
Yeah.
guys, and
See you later.
let's keep this going. Let's
Yep.
bring those
Don't
lords.
go get your hand slapped.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do some apologies and
No, you stand up to her and say you can do this yourself, and then sleep on the couch.
Have a good night, guys.
All right.
being
Yep,
the
see ya.
life.